Buddy, and welcome back to Mages of Pleasant Valley. It's been a little while again. It's been hard to get things back together with problems, but today we are able to come together once again to whoosh for you. And of course, we are joined by Karadur, Crusader, Kiana, and ID. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello, we're all going to die.
and how is everything on the up and up for you guys outside of the game?
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
Got a new job coming up. Things should be good,
congrats.
hopefully.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're going to be jumping back in here. Now, there was quite a cliffhanger we ended on the last episode. The to be continued came up right as something was happening. So would anyone like to recap what happened in the last episode to get people caught up?
Oh, I believe we were raiding a hospital in kind of an Ocean's 13 meets Spy Who Shagged Me fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Various hijinks ensued. We eventually made our way upstairs to where we were trying to get to in the first place, only to be confronted with, I don't know, MC Escher's Cthulian hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And some sort of mysterious Resident Evil Silent Hill monster crawling along the walls and into, like, vents and stuff as we slowly went insane. Well, I slowly went insane. I'm stopping them from going insane. And I think Crusader's out in a car somewhere.
Oh shit, he's in the car.
Oh yeah, no, I just walked outside. I'm perfectly fine and safe.
Yeah.
You guys are screwed.
Thanks. Great teamwork there, team. Okay.
Hey, I accomplished my goal.
Yeah. So we had some dialogue post-game about what to do about the situation. Do we want to go into that? Or do we want to just enact the plan and hope it works?
Well, I want to point out that before all of that happened, some other interesting drama had taken place. Do you remember what happened before you were... Like, why were you sent to a hospital? What's the reason?
Right. Dude who was arrested went into intensive care, from my understanding? Dude who tried to break into the mansion?
Margaret had some tech support issues at the hospital. Her surveillance went down or something. And, of course, we're going to figure out what happened and to make sure the guy's not being murdered.
I think it was more that she couldn't even get surveillance on the hospital. That's why we needed to go in with the drive.
It just kind of turned off, yeah.
Like, it wasn't even possible before. Then we got in there, we plugged in the USB drive, we were talking, and then everything went down.
Yep.
Yes.
Power went out.
Mm-hmm.
And the cell phone tower.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some random hobo came up and called us, like, what was it, the heroes?
The champions.
The champions?
Yeah.
We are the champions, my friends.
Apparently she said we'd be here.
And we'll keep on fighting till the end.
Someone needs to talk to Margaret about mission security and, keeping things on the down low.
Yeah, look, we can't exactly have OPSEC if you're going to be blabbing to every single homeless Bobby about it.
Oh, let's see. There's something else, too. Something about someone being a tree for a little bit, too, I think.
Oh, yeah, Kiana was a tree.
Yeah. Kiana was a tree. And also ID 10 has a court date.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only because you all kind of wanted me to. Yes.
I didn't tell you to steal one of my cars, drive wildly without a license, and get caught.
Well, I didn't drive wildly. I drove normally, considering the circumstances. Gemma's the one who told Ethan to do it. Like, to drive at all.
And she turned into a tree. What's your excuse?
My excuse is that she turned into a tree. Oh my god.
Well, it sounds like Ethan was just branching out into his new possibilities. Maybe you should leave him alone.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, you might be barking up the wrong tree.
It sounds like we're in a sticky situation.
Honestly,
Ah!
that foliage got cleared out pretty easily, though.
Mm-hmm.
We thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a big to-do, and it's like, nah, just happens. I'm gonna make one roll.
Yeah, I didn't want to rake you for it.
Let's try to introduce this monster to the concept of photosynthesis. No, too much of a stretch. Didn't work. Ah.
No, it's like electrolysis, at least.
Yeah.
Oh well, yes.
Though I'm a sap for good puns.
You.
Anyway,
Okay.
so yes, they had escalated to the top of the hospital, where they found that the emergency lighting was kind of ominous. It's kind of red and spooky, and there was this sort of mist that was covering the floor, made it so that you couldn't see it. And they heard something rummaging about in the top floor. And at one point they saw it crawling on the ceiling, some sort of amalgamation, a legion of body parts, arms and legs. And then, just before we ended, it seemed to have noticed them, dropped from the ceiling, landed in the mist, and the wave of mist was rolling towards them. And by them, I mean Ethan, Gemma, and Nicholas. Anthony, as he said, was downstairs. He had just gotten off a call with Margaret. Lovely conversation. Something about, you guys need to get out of... And then it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows
I'd
what
like
she
to
was trying
point
to
out
say.
again that Nicholas is currently using his immense magical powers to stop Ethan and Gemma from going insane. Well, not really being able to protect himself, so I don't know how much use he's going to be other than maintaining that spell.
And who knows what Margaret was trying to say. She could have been saying, you guys need to go out to eat right now. Get some food.
Could've.
Bring it back for
I
me because I'm
mean-
hungry.
Even if she was telling us to leave, can we really, in good conscience, let this monster eat a bunch of, like, hospitalized patients?
Yes.
Yes.
See, I knew
Absolutely.
people would say that, but I at least try to pretend to be lawful good, or actually more chaotic good.
At the
Good,
least,
anyway.
pretend to be. All right.
I want to live. I choose life. I'm out of here.
Anthony, Gemma, Nicholas. The wave of mist is rolling towards you. You're in a dark hospital hallway with red emergency lighting bathing you, soaking you in its crimson rays. What do you do?
Pretty sure we roll for initiative.
I want to hear what you're doing first. At least.
Well, as I said, I'm maintaining a spell to keep the illusions off the other two people. Or
Okay.
mental
Mm-hmm.
intrusion. It's a mind magic thing, so it could be an illusion. It could just be a mental thing.
Okay,
Yeah, hey, what you do, you might find a non-violent solution to all this.
you say that.
Is
No.
fire really violent when it gently burns you to death?
Yes.
That's just a warm embrace.
Of death. So hold on a minute.
Toasty.
So Gemma, we talked this out of character. How the hell do we talk about this in character? Because Ethan's response to, I'm assuming seeing this monster, because that's where we left off,
Mm-hmm.
is his response is probably to look at it and just look over to Gemma and say, "You got any ideas, kid?"
Well, I have one idea, if you want to hear me out.
If you could say it in about 7 words or less, I think that's all the time we got before we roll initiative.
Lightning go boom.
Okay, lightning where?
Gemma's just gonna point out the window.
Perfect, 7 words. All right. Yeah, that Ethan's gonna kind of get the gist, I hope. I think it's reasonable for him to look outside and go, oh. We're going to try to do some correspondence nonsense, it sounds like. Or correspondence.
Combination correspondence forces magic?
That's the thought, yeah. Is that something we can begin immediately, or do we wait for the description of the thing that is going to eat us?
So what are you gonna try to do?
Okay.
I just you want to try to teleport lightning in?
Yes. We would like to create a rip in space that allows lightning to pour through into this thing.
You know, using Gimma's forces to control lightning and Ethan's correspondence to move and open portals.
Yep. I want to Kamehameha this thing.
Okay, Ethan, with your correspondence at 3, you could open up a little tear in space, and with Gimma's forces 3, I could see her like pulling electricity through the little portal. So I think that could happen. I think we need Ethan to first rip open space and time.
Uh-huh.
And then after it's been established, then Gemma would just need to pull the electricity through that way. And then try to target the monster.
Yep.
So
It's up to you, kid.
Makes sense to me. Ethan, in that case, then... Actually, all of you, yeah, let's roll initiative now.
Yeah, please. Remind me how to roll initiative.
I hit the initiative button.
Oh, there is... Oh.
It's true.
Oh, that's pretty dope. Oh, whoops, I forgot to put a turn tracker marker on. Oops.
There's a turn tracker marker?
There's a turn tracker.
Yeah. I forgot to set myself to Ethan Gardner for the purposes of that.
Ah.
Oop.
Oh,
We're all good.
I see.
It didn't really matter because I was just going to put it in Notepad anyway.
Okay. Fair enough.
Did you roll my roll, Eotidiss?
Wait.
I kind of clicked on it when I saw the initiative button. I was like, "Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
I want to see what that has inside of it." But
It's like, how you rolled for me and got me the same number I got. It's like, that's very good.
mhm.
Improbable. Oh, Gamma, no. Oh, Gamma, no.
Oh, that's a low initiative.
All right, so we've got Ethan. Then we've got good old Saint Nick, and then Gemma.
Nice roll, even.
Yep. Glad I could do the setup, though.
Got 10.
Yeah.
All
very
right.
happy with this.
Ethan, you are
Yes.
quick to respond. You are the first to go up.
All right. I'm going to pump willpower into this.
You would.
I very much would. It has been a little bit. Can you please remind me of what willpower does for the purposes of not dying?
Automatic success, wasn't it?
Yep, willpower. If you use a willpower, it gives you 1 automatic success. And
Cool.
if you use a quintessence, it will lower the difficulty of the roll.
I would like to do that.
Okay. So you are using your correspondence 3, which would make it a difficulty 6 with your arete, but because of the quintessence used, you will now make that a difficulty 5, and you'll have 1 automatic success because of the willpower spent.
Awesome.
Now roll your arete.
At difficulty 5, you said?
Yep, difficulty 5.
Here we... Oh, whoops. Forgot to hit the button for the... Yeah. DP mod is... Wait, no.
0.
Be 0. Okay, yeah, we're good. Difficulty 5. I get 1 success on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 total.
You have 2 successes. Oh, I probably should have asked, tell us about the casting of this, creating a rift in time, or space, or both.
Alrighty. The way Ethan's gonna do this, because it's pretty cool to do this, he's gonna flip out his fancy pen, attempt to do that thing where people roll the pen over their knuckles into place.
Mm-hmm.
Just whips it out of his pocket with his pinky, rolls it up to his pointer, and draws a circle to create a portal, and then points in the direction that he'd like to draw the lightning from with the pen, and holds that pose. He's pointing out the window and hoping that Gemma's got this.
All right. the circle that you've drawn in the air takes a form of like a bright crack, and you see the crack etch a little like jagged lines through the air until it completes the circle, and then the circle sort of folds in, and as you do, you can see rain and some wind blow in from the hole on the other side, and a small puddle of raindrops can be heard pattering on the floor beneath the mist below you.
All right, Gemma, when you can, shoot this motherfucker.
Aye, Chief.
All right, Nicholas, It's your turn.
Well, you're juiced up. I think now might be an appropriate time to eat a muffin.
You're gonna eat one of the muffins?
I feel like now is a good time to eat a muffin, yes.
All right.
Which I think gives me a bonus on my next, like, spellcast or something? My next roll?
Yeah, it's gonna do something.
It's gonna do something.
It will do something. Hey, remind me, Anthony, what was the flavor of the muffins? They were delicious muffins, right?
They were delicious muffins.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot what flavor we made them. I thought we did pick one out.
You did.
Blueberry?
Okay, blueberry muffins.
Blueberry muffin. There you go.
Blueberry muffins.
Delicious blueberry muffins. The nectar of the gods. The ambrosia of the work of Margaret and Anthony together.
Ambrosia and a little paper cup.
With death and misfortune staring you down, a rolling mist of horror coming towards you, you whip out your muffin and you eat it.
Exactly. If I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna do it muffinless. Well, without having consumed the muffin anyway. I will have my muffin and eat it too.
Although the muffin is truly a delicious snack that you enjoy, you feel nothing remarkable about yourself. You don't feel empowered with energy. You don't feel like you've leveled up like in a game or an anime. You just feel like that was a delicious muffin. And you know, at this point of the day, it would be a good breakfast otherwise.
It's good, considering I'm slowly going insane with the walls turning into what was it? Dripping blood, I think it was.
Yeah,
Oozing green slime.
Yeah, no, that's Nosferatu. The red lights were dripping a little bit of blood out of them, you know, as they do. Now, the rolling mist, as it gets closer to you guys, it kind of softens and lowers out, but you can hear scampering. You can hear scampering beneath the mist, and you can hear the sounds of wet, slappy feet as they make their way towards you. I'm going to need you all to make a perception awareness check for me at difficulty 6.
I can do that.
And I might need to refresh the page because my, dice roll section here isn't scrolling all the way down.
Ooh.
Could you please?
All right. Go, gadget, perceive. Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty
Best
good.
roll.
Oh no.
That's pretty not good.
Very good.
Oh no.
All right, good old Nick and Ethan, you all can pinpoint exactly where the monster is beneath the mist. You can hear it slap, and the little puddle of water that came through your portal has leaked out, and you hear a distinctive splash as he's right in front of you where you've just drawn the circle. Gemma, you're having a hard time. The sound is echoing through the walls, and it's bouncing around and making it hard, and kind of sounds like an orchestra of slappy wet feet. And it's hard to tell where the monster is beneath the mist.
Okay.
It is now your turn.
It is my turn. I'm a little nervous because I don't exactly know where it is. However, I'm going to put my trust in Ethan to be able to direct what is about to happen. Where am I in relation to Ethan right now?
I kind of imagined you are all standing next to each other. You're by a nurse's station, so, you know, maybe just to his right, just to his left.
I'm going to brandish my rosary, and I'm going to speak aloud, saying, John and James of the 12 disciples were known as the Sons of Thunder, for they were able to channel some of the wrath that is our Lord whenever something needs to be smitten. And right now, Ethan, you and I shall act in their place to smite this ungodly, unholy abomination. And I'm going to go ahead and slam my hands onto his shoulders and try to channel through this lightning.
Okay. You will channel the lightning. And
directly into his shoulders.
Yeah, we'll supercharge him. But let's have you. Oh my God! Please roll 20. Stop it! Stop! Keeps trying to move Ethan's thing. I'm just trying to grab Gemma's. Please roll your forces, which is going to be a Arete at difficulty 6, unless you're modifying it in any way.
Can I use a willpower and a quintessence?
You could use your last quintessence and 1 willpower, yes, to get your automatic success and make it a difficulty 5.
To do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the circle or the X that I get rid of for a willpower?
The X.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, right. You do it like that. Okay. So we go into Arete.
Difficulty 5.
No DP mod or DP mod 1?
No DP mod.
Okay, no DP mod. Difficulty 6, you said?
5, because of the quintessence.
5. Okay.
2. All right.
Okay.
So 3.
Yes, it'll be a 3.
Yeah, let's go.
So
Let's go.
After your short chant, your little psych up, your morale booster, the little hairs on the back of yours and Ethan's neck begin to stand as you feel the static energy begin to rise in the room. The free electrons in the air outside are beginning to chain together in here, and you can direct them weakly with your forces magic, your control over the different energies of this world. And I'm going to give you the option. You could actually just roll for me a d6. Just roll a d6 for me.
Okay. I can roll a d6.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you get a 5... Oh. No.
Oh.
I was going to say, if you get
wait.
a 5, you hit it dead on. Otherwise, we're going to say you miss by whichever direction this is on a d6.
Oh.
So
I okay.
Wait a
because
second.
you didn't know
What
exactly.
direction am I standing?
I did not know what I was getting into. Can I use a willpower on this? Hold on.
No.
Okay.
You didn't know where it was, so you're just shooting into the mist, and the lightning coalesces, and a strong blast hits the tile in the room. The bright flash of lightning, to anyone who may have seen it, would look pretty interesting considering the forking, branching beam of light in the sky doesn't quite reach as far as other bolts did. But this one connects inside, and the bright flash shines out of the hospital. Anthony, down below in the lobby, you hear a thunderous roar of an explosion happening just above as the entire hospital is slightly shaken by the loud lightning strike. And
yeah, just all more reason to get the fuck out of here.
Oh God, please.
I'm gonna need each of you to roll me a stamina and I wouldn't want to say survival. It's not really a skill. We're just seeing if you guys go deaf from what just happened.
Blind?
And possibly blind, since you are feet away from a lightning strike.
Magical lightning strike? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stamina.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Stamina and alertness. I don't.
Maybe alertness to turn away in time. I don't know.
Close your eyes in time.
Close your ears. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Let's do stamina alertness difficulty 6. See what you guys get.
Okay.
Oh God, no.
Okay, I got a couple successes. So there's that.
Going on with Gemma this game.
Oh no!
All right.
Oh God, my eyes.
You successfully guide a lightning strike into the hospital right in front of you. It hits the floor, and you hear a squeal of, I'm assuming, pain from some eldritch horror beast.
Welcome to the dungeon, my
Thank you for the follow.
changeling.
And the loud explosion causes some of the ceiling tiles to fall down. The floor tiles have been, I would say, uprooted, but that's not right. They basically blew up, and little pieces of floor shrapnel go flying around. The loud explosion, Gemma, causes a very distinct loud ringing in your ears. And you blink a couple times and realize that your eyes are open, but everything is dark. Nicholas.
Oh.
Your control over magic was sort of distracting you. You had a delicious muffin, and you were focused on that when this all happened, and you were slow to turn away. But the loud thundering noise has now created a ringing in your ears, though. Your sight isn't as compromised. Ethan, you could feel all the things moving through the portal, and you had a reasonable understanding that the lightning was about to be channeled through, and in that moment you closed your eyes and saved your hearing.
Yeah, probably duck and cover his ears with his arms. Like, nope.
Gemma, can you please take 2 bashing damage, and Nicholas take 1 bashing damage?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
This is a bad thing.
So I'm hurt now?
You're
down.
Yeah, you're a bit
Whoa.
hurt. You're
Oh God, I hurt myself. Okay.
Oh, you got negatives. Oh, this is bad.
I do have negatives that I can't see.
Mhm. All right, it's now Ethan's turn.
Wait, did the monster not go?
The monster did go. It moved.
Okay.
It was very
It moved
far
up
away
the-
from you all.
Oh, good.
We don't know if it hit or not. All we know is.
I mean, you might know.
Oh, well, okay. I might know. Ethan probably saw it just miss. Fuck. I don't have weapons. What the
Didn't you just get guns?
I don't have a gun. I have the skill to use guns.
Yes.
There is a difference.
Shoot them with your permit. It's a gun permit after all.
Look, if I had more matter, I would absolutely materialize a gun right now. If I had more matter and use my correspondence, yeah. That's a matter 3 correspondence 3 kind of dealio.
If only you knew where a gun was and you could just grab it.
Well, I could reach across town and grab the one from the test area if they didn't move it, but I think that's not. I'm not powerful enough for that, am I?
It'd be mighty difficult, I would say.
I could try, and it would be a real long shot. Let's not do the dumb thing. Okay. So Ethan sees that Gamma's probably just blinking and just going like, what?
Yeah. In the moment,
Yeah,
it seems like Gemma is just blinking, and Nicholas over there is probably putting his fingers in his ears and giving it a wriggle or something.
Oh, this is a real problem. Guess who made his character with 0 combat capabilities?
Teleported
Yeah.
out the window or something.
We did rule that I could affect person-sized objects with correspondence at this point, if I'm not totally mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now, can I do it offensively? Well, I haven't tried yet. How about this? Okay, Ethan, seeing that we've just missed with the coolest thing he has ever seen, he's going to think in a split second and go, all right, just in his mind palace, he's like, oh fuck. He's got 2 options here. I want to use the portal. I'm trying to think of which of the 2 ways I want to use it. Okay, safest option. How many people can I affect with a portal at once?
That's a good question.
Could I say sweep the portal across people?
The spheres. Correspondence.
3 was the point where
Spheres-
a person could walk through,
You can-
basically.
Tear holes in space large enough for her to step through. These minor gates are small and temporary, but they allow the character to step from one place to another so long as she's alone and lightly encumbered. Scoping out the new location is a good idea, of course. A close familiar destination requires fewer successes than a distant, unfamiliar one. Using the co-locality perceptions effect, the mage can also perceive several places at once. Those locations all appear as ghosts overlapping each other, as if they've been layered on top of the closest location. Also, by combining Correspondence 3 with Forces Life or Matter, the mage can now move things around from a distance, levitating, manipulating, or teleporting them without physical contact.
Okay. Could I, with that descriptor, grab Gemma and shove her through the portal and make that portal go to the parking lot?
I would assume no based off of that, because it says large enough for her to step through and lightly encumbered, and I think Gemma is more than a light encumbrance.
It's more, I don't want to go through. I want to shove her to safety.
Okay, let's see. Gemma has her outfit, a backpack that has her other outfit in it, thermos, rosary, cross. That's about it.
Okay.
Oh, book. You're right, book.
There's the book, sure.
Some leaves. Their bark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, probably.
Pulling them out of nowhere. So that is, you would be physically doing it. I would say that probably bypasses the need of having life as part of this. Because you're not just like teleporting her, you're pushing her through a rift.
Yeah. My thinking from a narrative description is to take the existing portal, change its location, and just whip it around with his hands and pull her through.
Not to mention, wouldn't I be like closely connected to it anyway, since I did just do a spell using it?
I would like to point out I am a doctor.
Yes.
I can't
You are.
magically heal her.
I
You
know.
don't need to kick her out of the thing quite yet if you don't want
Okay,
to.
I'm trying to think of what to best do, because the other option is to use the teleport to throw the monster outside, and I don't want to touch it. I don't know what the fuck that thing is, and I don't know if it's going to rip my arm off if I do.
That's a fair point.
You see the problem.
I guess
Well-
another option is technically we could just try again.
Good.
We could, but
Good,
do we have?
yes.
But do we have time for that? I can't use forces. You can.
I mean, you would have the best case of knowing if we could or not, because you're the one who can actually see where it is.
Sure. Crap, we never established one of those wacky communication techniques for if you suddenly get Helen Kellered. This is a problem.
That happens all the time too.
I have an
Yeah.
I have an idea for that. Don't worry.
Well, I
Okay.
will say, in this case, shoving her through your rift, the rift is kind of small. She can't just, even though it's person capable, she's gonna have to like maybe slide like a McDonald's play slide. She'll have to like crawl through it or go feet first to fit through. But otherwise, sure. We'll say that you can shove her down your hole.
Oh God, please. So we've either got shove Gemma through a hole, or Nicholas for that matter, shove myself through a hole and get the fuck out of Dodge and just see what happens to them. Or
Just leave. Well, that
No.
didn't work. Bye.
Problem two is I do not know where our other friend is, so I can't just yeet him into the battle. In lieu of all those options, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. Ethan has zero way to attack this thing effectively, except teleporting it.
Okay.
I almost want to try teleporting it as high up as I could possibly throw it into the storm. Just grab it and shove it. Hope that it works. Oh god, but that would require a brawl check.
Yeah, you would basically have to grapple it to do that.
I can't. Oh god, I have built the worst character for this. No. Oh god. Anyone have any ideas? I don't want to prolong my turn much more. I'm sorry.
Well, at this point, we're in combat. Do the first thing you think your character would do, and we'll just go with that.
Which is either escape or,
Also,
This is
I definitely want to say, Ethan, enjoy having another paradox on there because that whole teleporty lightning thing was super vulgar. So
Yeah.
even though you succeeded, you still get the one paradox. Forgot about that.
All right. I'm not fully understanding how we get out of this
hold
alive.
Do I get the paradox as well, since I did help with that?
You pointed lightning. Lightning is kind of erratic and it does that anyway. That doesn't seem as vulgar as teleporting the lightning inside from outside.
Well,
Okay,
hold on.
fair.
What? No, that seems like it's a combo of unlikeliness.
Well, yeah.
I was just wondering, since I was tied to that whole situation. I don't know.
I had it as two separate casts, but
Okay.
the
Okay.
manipulating
I'll
of
take another paradox.
lightning, the manipulation of lightning is more coincidental than the teleportation of lightning.
I
mean, if there's any discussion that's upsetty about that, I'm feeling good about giving her some paradox.
I'm just plain confused. All right. All right. I'm trying to think of what to actually do to get out of this. God, if only I had a gun.
Understandable.
so American. Damn. If only I had a gun.
You're not wrong. Well, the thing's probably in my face right now.
I mean, just drop a bookshelf on it or something.
Get
I
your
don't have
Acme 10-ton weight
You
and
got-
just have it drop from the sky.
You could open portals. Just like throw a desk at it.
Okay.
We have
Oh,
a
you
desk
know what-
right in front of us, I believe.
Well, no, I got a funnier option. Okay, yeah, desk works if I don't want to incur yet more paradox and kill my character early. Yeah, sure. Let's shove a desk through a portal and do some portal shenaniganery and try to whack it on the head.
All right. Tell us about this casting of this new portal.
Okay. Ethan looks at the results of the last cast and goes, "Ah, shit. I saw this in a video game once." And he points at the ground, draws another circle with his pen, and then points it up at the ceiling and draws a second circle. You hear a very familiar sound effect of a poof as the desk hopefully goes through, assuming that this works.
All right. So make me another Arete at difficulty 6 then, unless you've got some modifiers to use on that.
I'll burn a willpower for a success.
Okay.
All right. Arete, difficulty 6, please. 2 total.
Yeah, that's 2 successes. So the little portal underneath nearby desk in the nurse's station opens up, and it slides on through, and above the misty floor, it opens up again, and shwoomp. No surprise to anyone who's played Portal before, but the desk falls through, and you can look up into the portal and see from the perspective of the floor underneath the nurse's station as the desk lands and hits something, and you hear the scuttling of feet and other such limbs as they crawl under the mist, and then the desk flops over, partially sitting up out of it.
I think I hit it.
A slight squelching wet sound as it lands.
Nice. I can work with that.
Nicholas, it's your turn. You can't hear anything.
No. Well, that concerns me. I think what's more concerning is the fact that Gimma is obviously blind at the moment.
Is it obvious?
I'd assume you went something like, "Oh God, my eyes," and clutched at them or something.
That's a good question. What is Gumma's first response to not being able to see anything?
I mean, sure. If you look like you obviously aren't blind, I will do something else. But.
Okay. I think I guess Gemma's first thought might be that maybe the lightning turned off the emergency lights, and say something along those lines of going like, "Did we just kill the power entirely? What's going on?" I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just anxious. I don't know.
Oh no.
Well, I guess Gimma is very nonchalant about her blindness, and thus, since I can't hear her speak very calmly and quietly about things, I'm gonna instead. I saw what the monster was, right?
Yeah. You knew where the monster was.
Is he trapped under the desk at the moment?
The desk hit him, and it fell off of it, and you can see where it's scuttling under the mist in front of you.
All right. Well, then I know that I have some sort of mental connection or mental magic being blocked from this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to kind of try to turn that around with my newfound mind magic and block us out of its mind so it doesn't know where we are.
Ooh.
You have become the false Hydra.
So I'm...
Okay.
Obviously, I already have the connection I'm using on my notepad that's blocking them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use that to link to its mind and then erase off the board off my paper our writing, the writing that represents us, to try to erase us out of its mind so it doesn't know where we are.
Okay, interesting. Then that does sound like a 3-dot mind thing, so
Yes, which is what I just did. I figured I should use my new 3-dot mind thing.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be an Arete at difficulty 6.
Mm-hmm. And I will use a willpower on that.
Okay. Automatic success.
We'll use Mind Blank. I'd like to use Mind Crush, but I feel like that's a Mind 4. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Look
Jesus.
at that. Muffin time, everybody. Even if it's not mechanically working, it's working in spirit.
Yeah, the bonus to that was going to be 2 automatic successes added on, so you have a total of 7. So...
Oh, that worked.
Wow. We're fine then, alright.
You erase your names off of the clipboard, and the scuttling stops, and in the moments afterwards, there is, despite your deafness, a stillness in the air. The scenery around you begins to lose some of the horror to it. The blood dripping down, the lights begins to shore itself up, to dry up, and the mist seems to fade away, and you're left seeing this writhing pile of limbs. And now that you're up close to it, you can see it's not just the arms and the legs. They're the things that are hanging off of it. It's got this sort of bulbous center to it, and you can see faces and a rib cage, and some other body parts are all mangled in together. It's just that the limbs on the outside are what's locomoting it. And
I am going to murder whoever made this thing.
And several of the limbs on one side push up until it takes on an almost upright position. And without a face to really see anything, you can still tell that it's sort of looking around. And it takes a step closer to you. One of the hands that's mangled and sideways just pulls closer. And then another that's a foot that looks like it's been twisted takes another one towards you. And just as it's about to bump into you, it walks past you. It walks past Ethan and Gemma as well. Its little wet slaps on the ground go up to the window. And it turns, puts a hand on the wall, and then it begins to ascend up the wall back onto the ceiling. It starts moving with a little bit more speed, and now it's heading down the hallway away from you. Back where it came from.
Well, if it gets back around to my turn, I'm going to start fixing people up.
With the mist
I don't know if we're still in
dissipated,
combat or not.
you're still technically in combat. The mist is dissipated, but you can see a big charred spot on the floor and a puddle of water nearby, and several floor tiles shattered on the ground as well. And it's Gemma's turn.
None, heal thyself.
I can't hear.
Mm-mm.
I can't see.
Correct.
I would like to, since I still have my hands on Ethan's shoulders, can I do okay, now that I'm about to say this, I think this sounds kind of weird. Can I do an empathy roll on Ethan to detect if we're still in danger or not? Because I don't even know if we've even hit the thing. Basically, I'm just trying to tell if he's tense or not.
You know what?
Which I guess he's... I don't know.
I would say a perception empathy roll, you might be able to get some info out of that, but I'm going to tell you based off of the circumstances that that's going to be a very high difficulty roll to get anything out of.
I see. Understandable. I'll give it a shot.
All right, roll perception and empathy at difficulty, let's say 8.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. Ignore that one then.
Okay.
Oh.
Holy shit.
All right then.
Well, you can accurately feel his muscles, but let's ask Ethan. Ethan, how are your muscles feeling right now? Are you a little tense?
Yeah, I'd say so. Why do you ask?
Less tense or more tense than before?
Define less.
Well, you just saw some abomination walk right by you and then crawl up a wall onto a ceiling and then skedaddle down the ceiling. So you tell us, how does that make you feel?
Do you feel relief that it's gone or no?
Relief will happen once we know it's gone. Ethan is quite tense.
Mm-hmm. So let's say you were holding on to him during that little interaction, and as he watched it go away, you can feel his incredibly tense body give the slightest hint of relaxation. But it's like watching a rock just slowly give a little bit, though. He is still tense. That boy is hard.
Oh,
Okay. I'm just going to I'm going to speak out, and I'm going to, because this is a little unsure, and I'm just going to say, do I do it again?
Gemma tries to speak while deaf and blind, and it kind of sounds like she says, yeah.
Yeah, Gamma. I think it's gone. I think it is. I think. Nick, what the fuck did you do to it?
He can't hear
Just
you.
kind of look at you and point to my ear.
Yeah, great. Fuck. I guess we got.
I don't have a video cam to show my hands moving for me being deaf. But
Yes. No.
I would be gesturing at things rather than trying to talk.
Yeah, Ethan attempting to nervously diffuse the tension of this whole fucking thing says, all right, well, great, guess I'll consider myself dumb, so we got deaf and blind. And deaf again. Fuck. Where the fuck is Anthony?
Speaking of which, Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, there was one thing we didn't cover. I did do the PA announcement with the warning that Dr. Linguini needs to leave the building.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's time to get out.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
Which we completely disregarded.
Yeah, you disregarded. So asking where I am, it should be pretty easy to figure out where I am.
Not that we can do much.
I'm leaving the building.
Yeah.
You're just okay.
So after the big explosion that took place upstairs, you head out and you hear lots of gasps and yells from people inside the hospital. And there's a token security guard that was clocking in for his morning shift. It's now about time for the rollover between the graveyard shift and the morning shift to start happening. And you can see one of the security guards go, "Oh, damn it. Now I got to go up there and take a look, see at what's going on. This place is going to hell in a handbasket." Anything you're going to do?
No,
You're just going to hang out?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna hang out. I'm like, yeah, it sounded pretty rough up there. Be really careful.
All right. And he goes over to the stairs and opens it up and starts climbing up them stairs. And I guess then that means we're back with the other trio. The monster has skedaddled down the hallway. It's now Ethan's turn again. Unless...
Okay. Ethan is going to hold on to Gemma and motion... yeah, okay, this is gonna go so badly. He's going to motion Nicholas over towards the stairs. Let's get the fuck out of here. He mouths the words, "Leave."
I shake my head.
Shake your head no?
Yeah. And then I point at all the patients' rooms.
Just Ethan waves his hands wildly while trying to mouth the words, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I'm gonna start casting a spell. I'm gonna pull out some eardrops and drop it in my ears and heal myself, hopefully.
Okay.
All right, that is a self-heal thing.
Gemma still hasn't given any indication to me that she's injured in any way, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I couldn't hear you talking weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
A heal
And
yourself
let's
kind of thing is only a
Mhm.
2-dot sort of thing, so you could roll your Eotidiss at difficulty 5 for that healing.
Yep. Magical eardrops that are just regular eardrops with magic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
There you go. You can heal up that bashing, and the ringing in your ears quiets down as the ambient noises of the hospital return to you.
Right. Alright. No, we can't leave. That thing's here for one of the patients. We still have to stop it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No. How do you propose we do that?
I mean, it doesn't. I made it forget that we're here. It can't see us anymore. I think it
Okay,
should be fairly easy to do that trick of yours again, only this time, not miss because the mist isn't around.
Oh, fuck. All right, Gemma, you ready for another one? Gemma? Gemma?
What's going on? Did we hear shit? Did we get it? Do I need to channel more? And I'm gonna start channeling for another go.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Because I put a lot of thought into it. I think the thing she would do next is try to channel more lightning.
I'm gonna... Can I see this thing within range? I can't. It scuttles away, right?
Yeah, it's already gone back down the hallway and turned a corner. It's on the
Fuck,
prowl, looking for more victims.
Okay, if Gemma's going to attempt to do this, Ethan's just gonna tap her shoulder repeatedly. No, 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 no.
Where's the off button? Turn it off.
Gemma would take this as a sign of like something's up.
And channel even more lightning.
Yeah, he's gonna put his hand on her shoulder, just like a stop.
Okay. She stops.
Okay. I'm feeling very paradoxy too. This ain't great.
Well, I guess my next step is now to heal Gemma,
Mm-hmm.
which is a slightly harder spell.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is a 3-sphere. When you look at Gemma, you can tell that her eyes seem to be...
Should I make a medicine check? Perception medicine
Sure.
to notice what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
I really should not make myself roll because it always could end badly, but
I
God
mean,
damn it. I've got these points for a reason.
You've got a lot of medicine.
Yeah, I also have a lot of perception. That's not going to stop me from rolling 6 ones right now.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. I'm going to title this 6 ones. What was the difficulty?
It's just a 6.
There, see?
No
like
ones.
I said, 6 successes. 5 successes.
There you go. Well, you can see that her eyes are definitely damaged. The pupils are almost completely closed. It's like the muscles constricted in place, and yeah, you can see that it seems to be damaged quite bad.
Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to prepare some more medicine. Got some eye drops, probably has a headache. Pop a couple aspirin into her mouth.
Okay. Then go ahead and do your Eotidiss at difficulty 6 for healing someone else.
Get her out of hurt, at least.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for the raid.
Raiders.
And, alright, 1 success will heal 1 of your bashing damages, Gemma.
Okay.
You, with the concoction of were they eyedroppers or something?
Yeah. Eyedroppers and some aspirin.
Yes,
A little bit of magic.
you're able to help clear up her horrible vision. Gemma, the blackness in your eyes becomes a hazy fog, It clears away until you're able to see again, but the loud ringing in your ears persists. Thank you, Raiders. We're doing some role-playing right now. I appreciate you guys coming in. I hope you had a great stream, but we're going to be role-playing,
okay,
so sit
okay.
back, relax, and enjoy.
I think I get it now. Lightning. Big boom. Got it. Can I go ahead and try to self-heal myself for the rest of this?
Sure. Just know that because of the nature of your magic, that only targeting yourself is going to make it more difficult.
Oh, dang, you're right. That's a good point. Well, I'd still try it, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and dip my fingers in a little bit of holy water. You know, the whole, like, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit thing.
that whole song and dance.
Yeah, that whole song and dance. And, yeah. Try to clear up my hearing. Hee-hee-ho.
All right.
What's the difficulty gonna be on that?
That's going to be a difficulty 6.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right, that's not bad.
Go ahead and heal that up. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are with you. And despite it being more difficult, you're able to clear it up. Again, the ringing in your ears dies down, and the soft hum of the HVAC unit and other such hospital noises, maybe a heart monitor somewhere, begin to come back in your ears. And you too can, once again, enjoy the horrors of this hospital.
As her hearing comes back, she just kind of goes, mop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're good.
All right. Well, we should hurry before it gets to another victim.
Wait, we missed it?
Yes.
Ugh.
So Ethan hit it with a desk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
okay,
So
that's
Sola
good.
pulled that off.
Mm-hmm. The desk is
where'd it
sitting
go?
in the hallway right in front of you. You can see a little bit of goo on it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
point
I
down
do
the
see
hallway
that.
where it went, along the ceiling, that way. And I'm going to head off.
All right.
Yeah, I'll follow with.
I'll follow as well. Question
important
before we
work.
proceed. Remind me of the paradox rules, because it's been a little bit. I have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have maintained a lot. I've never been able to discharge it properly.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if you get X amount at once, you roll for paradox.
Yeah.
And
If you get 5 at once, then we roll all of the paradox you have, and any of them that roll higher than a 6, we discharge, which is going to do some damage to you, and other effects.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like whenever Gemma finally rolls for paradox, she's just gonna explode.
Possibly.
Like
That
a
is-
ball of confetti.
Yep.
Do we know what page the mechanics appear on? Because that's the other thing.
548,
548. All right. Thank
maybe
you.
547.
All right. Let me take a peek. Paradox. Yay. Yeah. Here we go. Gosh.
How much paradox do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 currently.
You'll be fine.
No, I don't know.
As long
about
as you don't
that.
go over 10.
That's going to happen very quickly with the rate we've been going.
Or at least
What is-
if you don't go over 20.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah,
go over
let's-
20 paradox.
Ethan's what is your paradox at the moment?
I just said 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
I swear I'm listening. Mine's currently at 8.
8?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. She's been paradoxing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But until you do something that gives you 5 paradox at once, it mostly just stops you from having quintessence, and it goes away at 1 paradox a week.
Or
Okay.
dramatically appropriate moments when
Yeah, or
No,
dramatically appropriate moments.
Yes.
As the
okay.
storyteller, I get to decide that.
Yes,
Mhm.
of course.
But right now, you're heading down a hallway. There was a little intersection at the end. You saw the monster head left down that hallway. And
it had left down the hallway.
as you arrive at that intersection, you pass by the staircase, which flings open, and you see a rather large, buff-looking security guard there. And he goes, "Hey, what's going on up here? Who are you?"
Pretty sure I'm in my doctor uniform.
Yeah. And I'm also in a nurse's uniform that I stole.
Mm-hmm.
And I
gonna
am
point-
in a nun uniform.
Oh, God.
I'm going to point down to where we came from and say the storm caused some sort of electrical explosion or something. He needs to go check that out. Or the lightning caused some damage or something. Just
Yes. Yeah, something
Yes.
real fucky happened with the storm going on, the emergency power being fucked up. Look, I'm not an electrician.
Did you see
I
what
thi-
happened?
like an explosion.
What?
there's
Go
a
look. You can't miss it. I'll point down there.
Oh.
I think a desk got knocked over or something.
Yes, I do believe so.
You see him grab a hold of the waist of his pants and pull it up a little bit as he briskly jogs down the hallway and pulls out his flashlight and starts looking around.
Okay, so this security guard, while we have him in sight, what does he have on him?
He's got
Like, does he?
he's got a
Okay.
radio.
You're asking
He's
if you
got-
can steal his gun?
He
I
does
want
not,
to know where his gun.
He does
I'd
not
love to
have
know
a
where his gun is.
gun on
Son
him. He's a security guard.
Ah, fine. He's not one of the cool ones. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna head off down the hallway because
Mm-hmm.
now that there's a new person here, the monster may come back to attack him.
Yep, let's go.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank
to
you for the
dungeon,
follow.
my new little changer.
Although this might be a problem with our hit it with lightning plan.
The you can see the monster is over top of a doorway that you can only assume leads to a patient's room, and you can see it starting to scuttle down the wall, and one of its limbs, it looks like it's trying to open the door with a mangled foot, and it can't quite seem to work the handle with it.
Oh, we gotta get this thing out of here now.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about pulling the whole lightning trick a second time. That felt kind of fucky.
Not to mention, we have a guest on this floor now. Who
Yeah,
could
nah.
witness such things.
Or worse, blame us for it.
Is that the only staircase we saw?
There was a staircase at the other end of the hallway too, next to where the elevators were.
But that one's the closest one to us. There's not a one further down this hallway.
No, the one at the intersection is the closest one to you right now.
Well, we could try to lure it out of the hospital. It would have to chase us, though. Also, I have a little bit of magical knowledge with esoterica.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll to see if I know what the fuck this thing is?
Sure. Let's have you do a intelligence esoterica and make that a difficulty 8 for me.
Oh god.
That's there.
Yeah.
I'm just might give us a little bit of a idea of what to do if we know what this is. I don't think I'm going to use a willpower because that doesn't make any sense to me. Well, look at that.
All right. While this doesn't match any description of a mythological beast you're aware of, you've now realized as it's been walking around and, you know, fumbling about in these corridors that something seems a bit off about it. Not only that its appearance is very horror, but the physics of it all doesn't make sense. How is it climbing up these walls? How is it staying attached to the ceiling without ripping out the ceiling tiles that, as you've seen, can fall down with just being shaken by a nearby, even powerful vibration? But carrying the weight of all of those bodies and stuff on it?
So does that mean it's like some sort of spirit and not a physical thing, maybe?
But I
Or
tried
not
to look at
completely
it.
physical?
That
I
can't be the
shouldn't-
case though, because I looked at it through spirit and it didn't register.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see it normally without doing any spirit stuff, which I don't have.
Yeah, there's something funky going on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you paralyze something with forces, or would that have to be like matter or something?
I mean, I think you could with electricity.
Yeah? I mean, enough
I
electricity
was just
to
like-
paralyze it.
Just like hold it in
Oh,
so we can
freeze its kinetic momentum.
yeah, something like that. So we can get it out of here safely. Because we obviously can't fight it here.
I
Is that too
could I try that
for us?
with 3 forces?
Is that too much forces?
With 3 forces, you're trying to remove all of its kinetic energy.
Or halt it at least. I don't know, that seems like that feels like too much to do on 3, but
It does. I would say if it was something like a moving boulder, for instance, you could remove all of the kinetic energy from it and maybe transfer it into something else. But if that boulder was still on a slope, it would then begin to lurch back forward again right afterwards. So in a similar sort of situation, say for example, someone was about to punch you in the face, you could rob all the kinetic momentum just as it's about to hit your face and make it feel like you just absorbed the punch. But that wouldn't stop them from just pulling their fist back and then punching again. You're just
I see.
Question. I don't remember. Did I see this thing in Life Sight before?
I don't remember if you did Life Sight.
I remember
think you did do something though. You
I
did.
had Life Sight on before. I don't remember if I saw it or not.
I remember Karadur doing life sight. You were able to see the patients, but you weren't able to see it.
Okay,
if I remember correctly.
Is that it? So it has no life in it, so I can't affect it with life then.
Correct.
Yeah, otherwise I'd have ideas of how to handle this. So I can't specifically halt it.
Well, can we have ID and Kiana form a team thing again and just punch it through a portal this time to knock it out?
That's a good question. Could we just?
Can we just kinetic it through a portal out of the hospital?
We could 1-2 punch it. By the one, I mean
into
portal.
a storm cloud, maybe.
Just
into the sun.
I don't know how far your portals go.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Joking aside, I'm game for giving it a shot if we're able to.
I mean, regardless,
right.
I think teleporting as high as possible will still be pretty good, gravity and all.
All right. Game plan. Eat muffins, punch it through a portal. Go.
Got it.
Right. Okay. Gemma is going to unwrap the muffin and then proceed to jam the entire thing in her mouth.
Okay.
Yep. Ethan. Yeah. I'm thinking Ethan's gonna try to multitask this. Get the pen drawing started as he's eating the muffin. It's like, we don't have time for this shit. All right, Gemma, punch the fuck out of it.
How far does 3 correspondence make a portal?
Pretty far, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, you can. I'm pretty
It's based
sure with
on
the 3,
perception.
you can do a lot with that.
Last I checked, you basically have perception range. Where do you want it to go? There, I guess. If I know where it is.
Also, I have a quick question, a logistical question. Am I physically punching this or like force punching this?
Probably force punch would be better so you don't actually touch it. Unless you think that would help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's nothing specific in the rulebook that I'm reading that says it's
Yeah, it doesn't
distance away.
Doesn't necessarily have that, but I know there's a table that has a whole bunch of like general advice on how to rule location stuff for correspondence, but I don't remember where it's at.
Well, we need to get it as out of populated area if we can, or at least very high up over something that it won't hurt when it falls onto it.
I mean, there is a parking lot.
I was going to pick the parking lot and just aim for a random car. Okay, sorry. Random is a bad word. Random is a bad word. That could be our car.
Honestly, I was going to suggest if you had to drop it on a car, that you dropped it on our car, so we didn't inconvenience other people.
But we want to drive the car.
Yeah, but I'm rich, and some people aren't, and having a monster smash their car could ruin their life.
Okay. Also, I'm pretty certain that Anthony's
hold
in a
on.
car.
Wouldn't landing on the tarmac be just as bad as landing on a car?
Yeah, landing on the asphalt would be way better for us than having it hit a car. But I was saying, if you're going to have to aim for something you know where it is, like where our car is, or like in the woods in that death field with that house, that might be nice.
Oh, you know, that'd be friggin' hilarious. Can we stick it in the death field? Wait, no, it doesn't have a life signature. It might be cool with it. It might like that.
Yeah, but it's out in the woods where A, it can be monitored by Margaret, B, nobody lives.
Yeah. Okay, out of our known locations that we have the Beset Estate, we got the woods, we got the tarmac.
I think you can put it in the death hole.
You can climb out of that thing easily. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it's still, once again, away from people and where Margaret can, deal with it.
Okay.
If you say so.
I did find that table ID. It's based off of familiarity with the place that you're doing the teleportation to. So for the correspondence sphere, generally, 1 success is within line of sight. 2 is a very familiar place, and you have a connection to it like a close possession or companion. 3 success is generally something familiar, but it has a possession or like a casual friend nearby. 4 successes required if you've been there once, and maybe you have like a casual acquaintance or maybe an object.
We need to go for 4 successes to get it to the woods.
To be clear, I don't think that's an and. That's a or.
Yeah.
Do you want it to be connected to the person or range distance?
Yeah. And then
so it looks like we need a 4.
Something like that. And then down here at locations, it like says again, like 1 immediate perception, 2 familiar place, 3 familiar just saw it recently, 4 visited briefly, 5 heard or saw it described, and 6+ teleporting totally blind.
Yeah,
so 3 to 4 for that. Because we did visit it recently.
Well, realistically, what I could go for is a 3. I'd safely be able to do a 2 or a 3 to stick it next to the car because we know where we parked.
I think a 3 could get it into that woods, the death area. You were there recently. It was a very vivid, experience for you.
Mind you,
punched into the air, being your life drained out.
Yeah, it's great.
I'd also like to point out that you're very familiar with Margaret, so I think technically you could teleport it.
I should have suggested
you know what?
Margaret.
Hold on. Do I only need 2 successes to get it into Margaret's office?
It's in town, though.
Okay, but it's in her office. It's a weird subspace. It's fine.
Technically, by the basic rules, yes. But we do also know that she has a lot of protection.
Yeah, she's got wards.
Yeah. Okay, but can we dash it into the rock, so to speak, by sending it to the ward? Like literally dash it into. Yeah. Yes. Use her base as a weapon against this fucking thing.
I kind of like that idea.
I don't know.
I wonder if it'll even work. I have no idea.
Would she have a redirect where it teleports anything incoming to somewhere not safe?
Probably.
Or would it just block it
she
entirely?
probably has all kinds of crazy contingencies for things like that.
I kind of want to see this thing hit multiple magical tripwires and explode, go on fire, be electrocuted, and turn to ice or whatever else it would do.
Yes. Let's do this.
Okay, time for spaghettification. Let's see if I get some successes on this.
All right, so just to make sure, you're going to be opening up a portal, and where is it going to end up at?
I just had the realization that it might just cancel out. But
yeah, it could just not work. I think you should go for the death hole.
I'm not that familiar with it. That's the problem. I've been there once and had a
Yeah.
near-death experience, but like
We
that isn't
visited
a place I go to
recently,
every
so it's a three successes, and you get +2 from the muffin, though that's metagaming.
That is true. That is true. Okay. In which case, let's do this and keep it simple. I'm going to go ahead and burn a willpower for an auto success. I'm going to utilize the muffin's power for metagame knowledge, 2 successes. I'm going to see if I get higher and see where I can aim it. Is that okay? Is that okay to do?
Or do we have to pick a point before you roll?
Yeah, you need to tell me where exactly it's going to be popping out.
Okay, because the amount of the problem is that the amount of successes dictates where I can send it. That's what I'm getting hung up on. Is the
Yeah.
order of operations.
Yeah, you need to tell me what you're doing, and then we can determine how many successes it's going to take.
Okay.
And if you don't get it, it just fits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Could all
Not-
end poorly.
Not reaching the amount of successes you're looking for isn't the same as botching, as in getting like a negative roll. Not reaching what you need to reach isn't going to be the paradox.
On the bright side, the outside in the woods has got to be coincidental unless someone is literally standing in the death field.
Which I think is
Which,
fair.
Yeah.
If a bear
As
shits in the
opposed to
woods,
like
no one's
in
there to
somebody's office, which could be,
It'd be very
more
funny.
vulgar.
It'd be very, very funny, but yes, the
I
woods
guess
might
that-
be the safest option.
I guess that also technically means that the parking lot would also be vulgar, because who knows
Yeah.
who would be looking out at that point.
Yeah. Once again,
Reminder that it's
we're
based on
trying to
consensus of the
keep
universe,
secrecy,
not
so yeah.
reminder it's mostly based on consensus of the universe plus anyone looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is part of it. Is
It's a little
that
weird.
the universe is a watcher as well, basically.
Yeah.
Hush, universe! You didn't see
It's
anything.
like Call of the Cthulhu. Like,
Oh my gosh.
wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah. Woods it is.
teleport it into Relay.
All right. So
Yeah.
you're going to need to open up the rift in the woods. You've been there once, rather recently. The place is vivid in your mind. So we're going to need...
You can probably still picture that uppercut throwing you out of the
Yeah.
just
You're going to
the flip
need...
end over end.
You're going to need 3 successes.
Okay. Arete, 3 successes, difficulty.
6, I think, unless you have another.
No, it's going to be 6. Make it 6.
Okay. So 6, I burned a willpower. I'll have, assuming the muffin works, 3 successes. But let's see if I go further. Yeah, okay, I didn't get negative.
force-
This is fine.
So the portal opens up. You drew the portal near it, on it. Were you guys like right up on top of it and you just drew it around it?
So it's trying to get into a doorway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw it right in front of the space in front of the door.
Okay, and as you finish drawing the portal in front of it, you can see the woods there. It's almost early morning. You can see the dew on the grass around the life drain area out in the middle of the woods. You even feel that slight pain that you were experiencing before as it seems to emanate through your own portal. And the beast loses its footing as part of the door it was standing on has now become a transportation thing to another place. And you can see that as parts of it fall into the portal, it begins to turn into little flower petals, an entire foot as it goes through. Not spaghettification as you were expecting, but just a cascade of flower petals as the thing seems to unravel and fall to the ground. And all that's left after it's traveled across space and time itself is a light pile of pinkish purple flower petals on the ground as they begin to flutter away in the wind.
Does anyone have botany?
Wow, that was
No.
beautiful. I don't think I
Would that
have
be
botany.
science? Be an extra knowledge?
I'm not some kind of science nerd. I don't know.
Would that be a science roll? Intelligence science to identify the type of petals?
Sure. uh, intelligence. I guess you could do
Science?
science or
Esoterica?
or survival. Survival feels like the one that it would be to me. Identifying flowers.
That's fair. I don't have that, though.
Oh, just the intelligence then. You're a pretty smart
The-
dude. Difficulty 6.
Survival under a skill? That's a skill, not a knowledge. It's okay. I'll roll this.
But, oh, okay, fine.
What's
Well, I
that?
mean,
Flower.
research is a skill, not a knowledge.
Yeah, researching things is a skill. I got 3 successes anyway.
They're rose petals.
Rose petals.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A. Not that I know anything about that, probably.
Mhm.
Well, that worked. Why did that work? Why is it flowers?
Maybe there's more to that area than we realize.
You think it was the field? Was the thing made of flowers? Is that why it was so white? Anyway,
No, I don't
we
think that's the
should
case. Because
probably leave now.
I mean, I don't know. I think if it was made of flowers, you would have seen it on your life site, wouldn't you?
That is fair, unless it was an illusion. Was it all an illusion?
I guess. Did it really interact with anything physically? Did it hit any of us?
It tried to open the door.
But
Mhm.
did it? Did it actually, like, get it open?
It didn't
I mean-
succeed. No, hold on. It got hit by the table.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. Then, yeah, it has to be physical of some sort.
Anyway, we should leave now.
Yeah, we
Wait.
should probably get. Well, no, hold on. Was it the guy we were supposed to see?
Yeah, we should check on him to make sure he's actually, like, alive.
That's true. I forgot about that. This has happened to be the room?
No.
Because we saw him in the corner, right? He was in one of the corner rooms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you would
he's
have
in the
had
corner
to
room.
turn right when you came to the intersection to go to the high security ward of the hospital.
Okay. I thought this whole floor was the high security ward.
No, it was just the I said the western wing on the 4th floor, which you're at.
Gotcha.
So you could go down to that wing and check on the dude.
Is that past the security guard?
You'll have to walk past that hallway again that he was in.
That.
I mean, you're gonna have to anyway to get to the stairs.
Yeah, but then I would be leaving.
Mhm.
I could just ignore him and walk out. Alright, well, I'm gonna walk that way. And I'm gonna
Alright.
pull my clipboard out and start prepping for a spell.
Okay. You all head down to the west wing, and you can see that there is a different door going into this hallway than you've seen on the stairs or anywhere else. There's that glass that has the crisscross of wires in it for, if people try to break through it. And the door itself is a huge steel door.
Sorry to interrupt. Before we do that, is there a name on that door it was trying to get into?
There's not a name on the door, it's just got a number outside of it.
It doesn't have a patient's clipboard on the outside with saying anything about who's inside.
I think those things are on the end of the patient bed, aren't they? I think the
Depends.
nurse's office might have info on who's on what room, but otherwise I think the rooms just have numbers for,
You got the number though.
Yeah, let's
The
just
room
say
number?
it was room 35.
All right. I want to check and see who's in there at some point in case that's important that the monster was trying to get them. Or
All
if it
right.
was just, randomly doing stuff. Sorry.
You're fine.
Wanted to grab that before we moved on. You're like, well, you didn't say you looked at that.
Oh, you're fine. You're good. Anyway. Big security door. It's locked.
Is it though?
It is.
Is it not with the power outage and everything automatically unlocked for safety?
No.
Damn.
Yes, as we all know, every time there's a power outage, all safety mechanisms immediately stop.
Well,
Like the
some,
movies.
some if it's
Security.
electronically locked for security purposes, if the power completely went out and the backup didn't come on, it should unlock.
Well, this is
Dude.
the place where prisoners are held, so probably.
Yeah, but it's still a hospital, not a prison.
Yeah, but it's a high. The point of having a high security place in the hospital is that you're expecting to have dangerous people in there.
Sure,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you know, safety issues and
Mhm.
OSHA.
Yeah,
Do you want me
and
to go ahead and just open the door?
We have a person here. We can't just break in.
Well, are they right here? Where are they?
No, but the way you break in, they will be as soon as you punch the door.
I'm not gonna punch the door. Oh, Nicholas, I can solve things in other ways than punching.
Should I count
Kicking.
the number of doors you've murdered
Okay.
since I've met you?
spot a
Immediately-
punch, spot a kick.
Gemma's gonna walk right up to the door, and she's going to wrap her rosary around her arm,
Mhm.
and then she's going to give it a soft palm strike. Just kind of put it on where the lock is, and then I'd like to use forces to turn
Engage the
the
mechanism?
lock. Engage the mechanism, yes. Basically,
Okay,
just like make it retract.
that sounds like it's a little complicated, but it does seem within your sphere of influence. So why don't you give me a?
I ate a muffin too.
You're gonna eat a muffin too?
I already
You
ate a
already ate
muffin.
her.
Oh yeah, she did already
I
eat
never,
the muffin.
I never needed to punch it into the portal, so.
It just kind of fell through because
Yeah.
Ivy's
Yeah.
amazing.
Then go ahead and roll your Arete at difficulty 6.
Okay, I get 2 auto successes, right?
Yes, from the muffin. So you'll get a 4. So you place your palm up on the locking mechanism, and in your head you can see the like little pushy part that goes inside of the latch, and you're just trying to pull it back in. And it doesn't have a lot of give. You can feel a wiggle at first as it's trying to move back, but because the pins in the lock haven't shifted, it's still kind of stuck in place. But then you hear a little snap and a clunk, and the door moves open.
All right, I think I did it.
Slightly slapped the door and it opened.
I pushed the door open.
Mm-hmm. The heavy steel door pushes back gently as Gemma pushes forward on it.
Intimidated the door into opening itself. Well done. Well done, Gemma.
Thank you. Now, let's go ahead and find our friend.
Mm-hmm. I believe you guys were told the
Heavy
room was
air
the
quotes.
last one in the wing.
Mm-hmm. The
And
one
you
in the
can-
corner.
You can see
Straight
that
on.
there are 6 patient rooms in here, 3 on each side of the hallway. They've got similarly thick steel doors to them with latches on it and a small window looking in that also has the glass with the crisscross. What is that called? Does that have a name? The like
Crisscross lines?
yeah, the glass, it looks kind of like a chain fence inside of the glass. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like security glass images. Yeah. I just saw this thing right here.
Reinforced glass?
Is that what it's called? Reinforced glass?
Yeah.
Wire glass.
Wire glass?
I've got it up on the screen right now. This
Oh yeah,
this
that
kind of
glass
thing.
with like the wire going through it.
Yeah. Wire glass.
Yeah, wire glass.
Wire glass? Is that literally what it's called? Yeah, that must be what it's called. Okay.
Not very creative, the creator of that one.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
It's simple. It does its job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I know.
Fire rated safety wire glass.
Do I need to intimidate another door open?
Did we close the one behind us?
Well,
Oh.
you can put it back in the door frame, but you'll notice now that it is very difficult to engage any sort of locking mechanism.
That's fine, as long as it looks closed at the moment.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
At the moment, until, someone comes up and it's like, why is this
Checks.
unlocked? And
No,
they'll be like, it's because of the power outage.
on the outside, you can see that there's a little button to open the door from the outside. And each button on the door has a little safety reminder that when going inside, to make sure to have the requisite security personnel available, that the door automatically locks when closed, so to make sure that there's somebody to open the door.
On the outside. So
On the
wait,
outside.
wait. So I didn't actually have to do that. There was just a button to. Oh, okay.
Well, no.
Oh, well.
On the one to the wing, you needed a key, but here it's just a little button from the outside to open
Oh, okay. I
it.
see.
Yeah. It's just a little, kind of like, ringing someone up to an apartment in a big city. You need to have that little button to open it. It's kind of like that system.
Funnily enough, wire glass is actually quite fragile, and it was only used because it was the only cost-effective fire-rated glass at the time.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Huh.
Anyway, we're not going to think about that too much. I'm gonna put that down on my clipboard and erase it, so you don't worry about that. It's not in your head anymore.
Gotcha. Well, what?
Understood.
We're talking about buttons, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's go
Alright.
go into that room. Let's see if our dude's okay.
All right, you press
Man,
the
I
button.
certainly hope we don't open the door and there's just a huge pool of blood, and then someone walks by and goes, "What have you done?"
I've got a good excuse if we need it, but
He's got that one loaded and ready to go. Well, you guys open the door. Actually, before you open the door, Anthony, what's going on with you? You just still hanging out down there in the lobby?
Oh, I ain't in the lobby. I left the lobby a while ago.
You're
I'm
outside?
I'm hanging out in the car.
Okay.
Just sitting in the car.
Specifically, what I'm doing with the
Great teamwork,
car
guys.
is I know it's Nick's car, so there's going to be a familiar attachment to that. I'm trying to search the car to see if the other two have left anything behind in it that I could use as a connection to them.
Gemma's change of clothes should be in there.
Okay.
Because she was in her normal outfit and then she switched over to her nun outfit, which I guess that might be her normal outfit, depending on her familiarity with her new clothes.
Yeah, fair.
As for Ethan and Nicholas, well, I mean, it's Nick's car, so that's an attachment. But I don't know if Ethan left anything in the car.
Nope, nothing in particular.
Yeah. Maybe some
Spare
loose
coffee cups.
hairs or something. Maybe if you looked.
Yeah, okay, so I can cast magic onto Nick and Gemma, if needed to give them luck.
Mm-hmm.
Greatly appreciated. We'll have to talk about those muffins.
That is what I will begin to do, is just set up to increase their luck. I will do, try to do, a short ritual, just to boost
Yeah. Do
an
it over
action.
time?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that case, then, let's say you're going to increase their luck. How many extra successes would you want to give to them? And that's what your ritual is going to build towards then.
3.
3.
3 should be a lot of good successes.
I agree. This is over a large distance, but like you said, you do have some amount of connection to them in the place that you're in. Can you describe the ritual you are going to do?
With this one, it's going to have to be looking very carefully at different threads of fate and determining which ones to prune. Not really knowing exactly what they're going to be getting into, and just being very careful, be like, oh, this is something that could be really bad. Let's bolster. Let's try and shift this slightly different instead of cutting it completely.
Okay. So while the fate, the ball of twined up possibilities is difficult to tease apart from the position that you're in, you can see that there are outcomes in which maybe all three of them come walking out of the hospital out to the car, and some where maybe that number is not quite three, maybe less. So you begin to see these outcomes and try to prune them. Why don't you give us your arete at difficulty 6?
Okay. No whammies. I don't have any extra juice to really put into this.
Ooh.
Okay.
You did get 2 successes, so you successfully chop away at the tree of probability and get rid of some of those undesirable outcomes. It's taking time, though. The threads of fate are sometimes difficult to pluck apart, and you have to be careful not to chop any of the ones that might be a favorable outcome. A few of the options you notice are incredibly weird. Some of them end up with Nicholas asphyxiating out in space near Jupiter for some reason, and you cut away those, and you don't think about it too much. Give us another roll.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're safe to just cut those out. I don't think that's gonna.
Mm-hmm. The one where Gemma turns entirely into a pile of flower petals is an interesting one, but also cut away. And there you go. As you strip away these other negative possibilities, you see that the entire ball of probability sort of unwinds on itself. It unravels until there's only a handful of possibilities left. And you've selected them down to some pretty good ones. And tracing back through the thread, you can see all of them enter into this room, and there's some mysterious figure waiting for them inside. However, you feel strongly that they will be making it out tonight.
Good luck, guys.
Now, you all press the button and open the door to the prisoner's room, where you see at least for Nicholas and Ethan, I believe you two have already seen the person at some point. I don't know if Gemma ever actually laid eyes on him.
No. Gemma has not laid eyes on this person before.
Well, he is laying in the bed there in a gown, and you can see that he's handcuffed to either side of the bed. But what's more striking is that a flash of lightning draws your attention to the nearby window, where there is a person sitting in the windowsill. He's in a hunched over position. You can see he's got a very large black trench coat on, and he's wearing a gas mask and a very large hat on his head. It sticks very far out.
Who the fuck are you?
And you can hear the almost Darth Vader like his head turns and looks at you in the doorway.
He's prepared for my sleeping gas attack. I mean, of him.
Who are you, Mr. Window Peeper?
Yeah, can we...
He's on the outside of the window?
No,
he's inside the window.
He's in the
Yeah.
room. He's
Okay.
in the room with the person. And you can hear slight squeaks as his almost entirely leather outfit moves from the windowsill. One leg drops to the floor, and the other one moves forward too. As he stands in front of you, he sort of brushes his cloak, his trench coat, and lets it unfurl. And you can see him walk over to the prisoner sitting there. He sort of brushes his hair for a moment and then looks back at you again.
Brushes the prisoner's hair?
Yes.
Alright. I don't think I want to allow him to touch the person.
Okay, listen here, Mr. Anthony Hopkins, sitting over there being all Silence of the Lambsy. Who the fuck are you?
He just looks at you.
Let me at least pretend to be a nurse. I got the outfit.
I don't think we need to pretend to be anything. This guy is obviously up to no good.
Yeah.
Step away from the patient.
He takes his hand off the head of the patient and he just puts it in front of him. He clasps his hands together and takes a, I'm not sure what kind of stance you would say, but he's at the ready. He is squared up, but his hands are down and he's just watching you all. He unclasps his hand for a moment and gestures towards the clipboard at the base of the bed.
I'll take a peek see at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it legible from over here?
I mean, you can't read it without picking it up out of the little tray at the end of the bed.
Hey,
I'll-
you could use your big boy words rather than just
Well-
gesturing at things all ominously.
Well, while Gimma goes to look at stuff, I assume, I'm gonna go start up my life site. Gonna reach my hand into my doctor's bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And,
hesitantly get close and get the clipboard.
Start pulling out or grabbing a couple things that might be useful as I focus on seeing the flow of life around me and hopefully in the people that are around me and in this room.
All right. Then let's get your Arete at difficulty 4.
Because this could be bad. Alright.
3. Yes, your life site comes to life, and of course, you can see that your companions here are just brimming full of life. The figure in front of you is also quite alive and healthy, and his pattern of life seems to be tactfully woven together. However, the prisoner in front of you, his threads seem to be unraveling in a way that makes you uncomfortable.
Well, I'm gonna have to try to deal with that then, I suppose.
Mm.
What's it say in the clipboard, Gimma?
What does it say on the clipboard?
The clipboard mentions that he has suffered quite a trauma to the brain. There seems to be something that is putting him in a permanent comatose state, and he is unable to be aroused from it. And he occasionally suffers from seizures, and he's like very close to dying.
It says that he's in a permanent coma from brain, from something wrong in his brain, and he's suffering from seizures. Yes, that.
Well, I guess I'm going to go over and check the patient out more specifically.
Yeah.
Because we came here to save him. Nurse, escort the man out of the room, please. Nurses.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Gemma's just gonna turn to him and just ask, "Who exactly are you?"
He then takes his hand, he brings out his index finger, and he points to his head, and then he turns to the prisoner and points to his forehead and taps it there. Then he slowly brings his hand back out, and he points to Nicholas. and does the gesture again. Points to his forehead. And then turns to the prisoner and points to the prisoner's forehead.
He wants... Alright, I guess I'll bring out my clipboard, which I already had, and I'll start connecting to the person who obviously can't speak mind to mind with a mind roll.
All right.
I'm writing down. I don't know much about this person, sadly. This is going to make it a little bit harder for me to make a connection with him. But it sounds like to me that either he is the prisoner, or not the prisoner, the patient, or he was the person controlling it. He wants me to make a link between them, though. So I'm gonna do my Venn diagram of mind magic.
Are you doing that with the prisoner or with the gas mask guy?
Just the gas mask first.
Okay.
I'm not going to connect the gas mask guy to the prisoner on the gestures of somebody just fucking standing in this room. To somebody that's already almost dying.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what he has to say for himself first.
All right. Then he opens his hands and bows his head as you begin to scribble down on your notepad, as if inviting you.
Right.
Give me an Arete difficulty 6.
I'm gonna let the others know that if I start acting weird, that they should probably knock me out. There we go. I'm not messing with being mind controlled. I got 3 successes.
You did. You can begin to feel your mental connection to him grow. And when it was with Margaret, you kind of felt like she was able to sort of control the link. She may not have been, giving you full access. And this guy does not seem to have as much control over it as possible.
Good.
At least as much as she seemed to have. You're able to see inside of his mind, and you get quick glimpses of things like the being in the hospital. He apparently had come in through the darkness itself, somehow shifting through. It seemed as if the nurses and doctors at the time of the patient's arrival, he was able to just move through the rooms without them even noticing him. And outside of those glances, you now find yourself just telekinetically or telepathically linked with him. And you can hear a voice inside your own head say, "I am the Omen."
Ominous. The Omen of what?
I am the Omen. Champion, you must venture. In reality, he brings his hands back in and once again puts his palm on the head of the patient and slightly brushes his hair. And you can hear him speaking inside your mind. He's been dealt a rough fate. Just brushing the hair. It's nearly his time. There's not much of him left in there. What he once had has been ripped from him.
I will certainly make the things that did that pay.
As expected of one of the champions. My purpose here is to give you guidance, Doctor.
want to make a pithy comment, but I don't have time at the moment. Well, I assume that I need to delve into this man's mind and try to salvage what's left.
Indeed.
All right. It's time to get to work. I know a lot more about this guy. We've had a lot of, well, not a lot, but we've had some interactions. We've fought mind to mind with the person that was controlling him.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to know a lot more about what's going on, so I think I've got a better idea of how to connect with him.
Mm-hmm.
And given what's happened, I'm definitely throwing in one more of my willpower at this roll.
Okay.
Because I'm got to do everything I can to help somebody that I've, not only needs it, but I've inadvertently also hurt, considering what I did to someone that turned out to be a controlled innocent.
Mm-hmm. Then, as you pull out your clipboard and you begin preparations for that mind link, the yeoman takes his hand off of the prisoner's head and he begins to walk towards the door, not making eye contact with either Gemma or Ethan. And he turns around in the doorway and speaks inside your head one more time, Nicholas, and says, "Good luck." And at that moment, from head to toe, his hat begins to unravel and fall to tatters, and so does the mask. Every part of him seems to, sort of like in Star Wars when Obi-Wan gets hit by the lightsaber and just turns into a pile of clothes somehow. Except, as it unravels, it turns into this kind of pinkish purple pile of flower petals.
God damn it, Napa.
What the fuck?
And the flower petals float away as if a slight breeze has left the room, and they begin to trail down the hallway.
No time. Dying man to save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right.
I'm going to be trying to delve into what's this man's mind and what's wrong, what was been done to him. If you could try to focus on keeping his body alive.
Oh,
Anything
sure thing.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
I could go ahead and set up a ritual, perhaps, to help keep him stable.
All right. Well, then let's start with that one, Gemma.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and dip my fingers in my holy water, which I assume is getting rather low at this point.
Fair enough.
And I'm gonna give him the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to then kneel beside his bed and softly pray for his continued life, that the Lord may grace him with health.
Then go ahead and give me an Arete at difficulty 6.
Alrighty. Okay.
And we're going to add a couple of successes because for some reason fate and fortune seem to be on your side in this moment.
Nice.
And in your perception of his spirit, of his will, you're stitching together some of the broken tethers of his life pattern, but something is refusing it. And while you definitely have the capability and you feel a strong connection to the life force that's inside of him, nearly instantly as you put them back together, those little threads dissipate and uncoil from themselves. Think of a zipper trying to zip up a jacket but as the zipper goes up, it just keeps falling apart from below. Despite you knowing the zipper could work, as it goes up, it just unzips along the bottom as well. And thank you for the raid, Kanabo. Mwah. Welcome in, guys.
Welcome, readers.
So you seem to heal him a little bit, but nearly instantly as you've healed, the healing goes away again. And Karadur, you with your life sight still on, you can see this happening to his pattern. You can see the weaving that Gemma is trying to stitch together for his pattern to save his life, but it seems as if the pattern is refusing it. Now, for your
not great.
For your role, you're going to try to dream walk in him, seeing as he is unconscious.
Yeah, I think that's what some heathens would call it.
Yeah, what would you call it?
Something in Latin, probably.
Sounds about right then. That is going to be an Irritate difficulty 6, unless you have some modifiers on here.
I don't believe I have any modifiers other than the normal ones, do I? Let me look. Up to the modifier thing. Oh, no, wrong. I got my usual instruments. I mean, I think being the person himself, having some personal item isn't really needed for a resonance.
Not really. You are, like, right next to him. And it's fairly... You've had one personal interaction so far.
Yeah? We're not near a node, are we?
I mean, you would have to go looking for one. You don't feel the
So-
effects of one nearby, for sure.
So no. We're not near a node for general circumstances. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I got enough research lore about him to get minuses to that either. So no, I think that's all regular.
All right. Then Irritate difficulty 6 to enter the prisoner's mind.
And I spent a willpower, which is good because I got a -1
Yeah.
otherwise.
So you write down on your notepad
Mhm.
or your noteboard what you think you could do to connect with him, but your confidence in it wasn't as strong, and it doesn't seem to have manifested in you being able to do it.
Yep. So
In this moment,
Give
the
me-
prisoner begins to shake, his body trembles, and you can see his lips open as his teeth bare, gritting down as his head and body shakes violently and tugs against the handcuffs.
Emma?
His heart monitor is beeping rapidly.
I'm gonna grab the chart real quick to look at add an extra connection to what's exactly happening
Hmm.
to try to get another go at this after Gemma hopefully rolls some more health.
I'm not really sure what's
Oh.
happening. Everything I'm doing just
I'm sorry. We're gonna retcon this.
Right.
okay.
You did have bonus luck coming in from Anthony.
That's
So-
true.
You do
That is
have
true.
you have the successes to make the connection.
Oh, good.
My apologies.
Good job, Anthony.
I forgot.
Yay!
We appreciate your support.
You did get your bonus successes from that. So never mind. Fuck that. Rewind a little bit. All right. So
Crit
as
that.
That threat of fate.
you all
Good
see,
job.
Nicholas was writing in his clipboard, but he
Mhm,
begins to sort of slump over, like he's about to fall down. He's about to fall over.
Oh, woe is me. I am lay fainting.
I probably shouldn't catch him since I'm praying. Ethan?
I suppose I have something to do that isn't looking pretty. I'll try to catch it.
Okay.
I apologize. I don't have a lot to add to the scene.
Oh, no worries. You're
Nicholas begins to slump over, and you catch him in your arms, and you're able to help him guide gently to the ground instead of slamming into it, as he seems to have fallen into a partial sleep. And Nicholas, you can see you are now inside of some sort of I was gonna say, you guys ever see a movie that takes place in Mexico and it's got the sepia filter on it? It's kind of like that. You're in an alternate version of the hospital, but it's kind of got the sepia filter over it. And there's fire burning in the corners of the room that you're in, and there's nobody in the bed. You're in this room alone, in this high security room, and you can tell the building is on fire.
Oh, great. Insert dog, this is fine meme.
You do hear a lot of noise outside of the door, which seems to be cracked slightly open.
I suppose I should try to rescue who I can rescue from inside the burning house.
Mm.
You said I heard noise from behind the door?
Yeah.
Well, let's go see what's behind the door.
Well, you open the door, and on the other side is not the hallway of the hospital, but you find yourself looking into what appears to be maybe a pizzeria. And you see that it's full of people laughing and enjoying themselves and having a good time. And despite the filter over things, this sort of brownish color that overlays on top of everything, there's one table that seems to still have a normal color to it, and you recognize the prisoner is sitting there, and he's there with a lady and a young child. And you can see that they're having a pleasant conversation as a platter comes out with a freshly made pizza as it's sat down, and their waiter asks them if they need anything and heads on back, and they eagerly begin taking pieces of the pizza pie and divvying them up and laughing and enjoying as they dump extra Parmesan cheese and maybe some of those crushed red peppers on top.
And is there anything else in the scene? Anything wrong about it?
Oh, there's fire everywhere. And
There's still fire everywhere.
yes,
Here, you.
there's some of the tables that people are sitting at seem to be burning, and the fire is spreading, but nobody in the scene seems to notice it. The rolling, burning disaster seems to just go unnoticed by everyone there. You can see the fire is even covering parts of the floor, and as it goes up one person, he's continuing to laugh and slam the table and kick back a drink, and entire parts of this restaurant seem to be engulfed in the flames.
And can I try to, mentally push the flames back or put them out or anything? Or is that not the sort of power I have in this?
You could certainly try to do that.
Well, I'm going to certainly try to stop his mind from burning down to nothingness.
Okay. Why don't you give me an arete at difficulty 5 then?
All right. Right.
All right. Around you, you sort
I don't
of...
have to keep rolling ones. Like, it's all really cool rolls, and then there's one.
You push the flames aside around you, and it seems to beat back the inferno that's going on inside this restaurant. And the prisoner sort of stops holding his pizza, and he looks up and he looks around. And he puts the pizza back down on his plate. And as he's turning, he sees you and he locks eyes with you for a second. And then right as he does, the door bursts open and you see a bunch of goons. They look like gangsters walk in and they start kicking people out. They grab some people by the cuffs of their collars. They're all holding guns. And you see a couple of them go to the side entrance of the restaurant, and you hear a commotion going on in the kitchen. And then some shots ring out as people begin to panic and run. The fires begin to stoke up again. And in a blink of an eye, the scene changes. Tables are overturned and ceiling fan seems to have been knocked to the floor. There's windows that have been broken out and the lady and the child aren't there. The prisoner is just sitting in a chair by himself as all of this is unfolded. The goons are gone, but the restaurant is still engulfed in flames. And he's just crying. He's sitting in his chair crying.
The lady and child are gone? They're not like
They're gone.
dead bodies strewn across the floor or something?
No, they're gone.
Okay. Probably kidnapped rather than murdered. Well, I think I gotta go over and comfort the man, and whose name I should definitely know, but I don't remember.
As you walk closer to him, the color that was around him begins to fade to more of a black and white, as well as the flames begin to smolder out, but along with it, the rest of the scene grows in darkness, until the only thing that's visible is the man crying in his chair, his head cradled by his hands as tears dribble from them. And before you know it, the spotlight begins to grow out again, but instead of the restaurant you were just in, you can see that now his legs seem to be tied to the chair, and he looks up and his hands are in cuffs now. And he's got a light pointed at him, and you're a fly on the wall in an interrogation room. You can see some very large, rotund man with big suspenders over a white button-up shirt sitting across from him. He's got big flakes of his scalp that seem to be peeling behind his balding head. And he's smoking a fat cigar. In each drag, he puffs the smoke right into the prisoner's face. And he's saying something, but the words are muffled. The muffled echoes seem to ring through the darkness. Suddenly, the ground begins to shake, and the fire erupts around you again, and you can see the prisoner is in massive pain. And at this moment, Gemma and Ethan, you can see that the prisoner is suffering a seizure. He's shaking violently.
Am I able to try to intensify the ritual to soothe this?
Yeah, give me another Arete difficulty 6 then.
Okay. Lord, soothe this lost lamb's pain, please.
Nice. The flames, he stops shaking, and it seems that the seizure calms down. And the fire inside of this interrogation room smolders down again, and the prisoner is just sitting in front of this man. And you can pick out little words here and there that come through. Something about being tied to the family. We know you worked with them. You're gonna spill the beans. You'll not get them back until you talk. However, on the outside, Ethan and Gemma, can you give me a perception alertness check?
Perception alertness. Sure.
Difficulty 6.
It's a 3.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awareness. Hold on. Well, actually, is there a difference in my word? No, they're the same. So, oh well.
Yeah, it's fine then. You both hear footsteps coming down the hallway. Someone has come into the high security area.
Ethan, are you able to do anything about that?
I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe like, can you find out any way to keep the door shut?
Well, I could kind of work with that myself. He's gonna walk over and just hold the door shut as best he can.
Okay. You go over and hold the door closed. You hear the footsteps outside, and you can you can see that there's a little bit of a shadow cast on the window of the door. Someone peering inside. And
oh, I've got an idea.
okay.
All right, as this individual is peeking through the window of the door, Ethan turns around to Gamma, kind of under the door's window, shows a little puts a finger up to his lips and says, "Just keep him quiet." And he's going to slip through the door as though he's exiting the room after an examination of the patient.
Okay.
He's still in the nurse outfit, remember?
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna try this. Here we go.
All right. You go to open the door and then realize it's locked from the inside
Oh, fuck.
because you held it closed. However,
Okay.
the person on the outside presses the button, and with a slight buzz, you know that you can hear the latching mechanism open up.
Mm-hmm.
And you open the door to find the security guard from earlier is there.
All right. Ethan's gonna try to fast talk this guy. As he opens up the door, he goes, "Hey, just the guys looking to see."
What's going on in here? I was doing my security rounds. You all weren't supposed to be in here yet.
Yeah, no, guy's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Look, there's a patient over a few doors down that we should probably take a look at. He's gonna try to lead him out of the room.
Why would I look at a patient? Someone break into his room?
Yeah, I heard a noise from a couple doors down. Let's check out this guy. He seems okay.
Alright, well, I just needed to finish up my little checklist here. Make sure with the shift change that we got all the doors working and stuff. Notice that the lock is busted again on this place. It's a good thing no one ever tries to break out of here. I think a fly would be able to get through that door, you know.
Right? Yeah, you know? Yeah, no. Believe me, the place feels like it's falling apart every day. Crazy. Yeah,
Man.
I mean, with the power outage too, you think we'd have a system that actually would work with the backups, you know?
Yeah, this place is mighty creepy even in the early morning. I can't imagine how you grave shift guys get around here in the dark.
With a lot of coffee.
Oh, I need to grab some myself before I get too into this shift. I might fall asleep on post. Anyway, what's the room you were looking for? And he heads out through the security door.
Yeah, he's gonna say like, "Oh yeah, no, it's just that over here," and he just turns to Gamma and goes like, "Good luck." He's gonna follow the security guard.
All right.
Hmm.
Ethan and the security guard head out, and Gemma and the body of Nicholas are still in the room. Nicholas, you're witnessing this guy get interrogated by what you can only assume is a mob boss.
Yeah. Obviously, with the peeling head.
Yeah, that's the trademark. Everyone knows that.
Great. Did the fires die down at all? Or is the room still extra on fire?
No, the room, the fires have died down, but you can still tell that they're burning away at the edges.
Well, then I need to make sure I hear and understand what's going on, because from what I can put together, this guy had his family kidnapped by the mob and then was used. So if we can't save him, then I should see if I can find and save his family.
Mm-hmm.
So can I roll anything to understand what they're saying? Because you were saying it was all unintelligible mumbles.
Yeah. The problem is that
His memories are going bad.
give me
on fire?
give me a wits medicine at difficulty 6.
Alright. Wits. Medicine. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So you can piece together that part of this is a dream that the guy's having, that he's reliving some terrifying moments in his life. And part of it is that his brain is fucked. And
Yeah.
you're kind of walking into an almost dead man's brain as he's nearly passing. But
And
the trauma that he's going through, you're not sure how much of it, because it is a dream after all. You're not directly looking at his memories, but you can piece together that some of this is a bit exaggerated, but some of it probably has that kernel of truth in there.
no one has that big of a peeling head.
And then the scene shifts again, and you can see that he's been stripped naked and left in a vice of sorts. He's on a table, and you see some hunched over man who, he's got long pointed ears and a very pale complexion. And he's got this bony hand that looks like he's almost entirely skin and bones. And the prisoner is shaking and violently trying to tug away. But the man, this almost beast-like creature, comes over to him and caresses his head and his face, and then takes a bite into his neck. And at that point, things go dark. And aside from the fires being little embers in the shadows, nothing seems to be left here. But
and I try to like pull his consciousness into like, I don't know, shape so I can converse with him. Can I try to fix his mind at all?
sure, let's do that as a mind 3. So Arete difficulty 6. Try to grasp his brain and
just one success for that one.
You begin to pluck at the different parts of the prisoner that has revealed itself to you. You sort of making an amalgamation of him. Not all of the pieces of the prisoner seem to be there. He's got like chunks of him that look like in a video game when a polygon is voided out and it kind of repeats the textures around it. That's the kind of look to some parts of his body. And he collapses in front of you on his knees, and he tugs at your doctor's coat from below, pulling up on it. And he says, "Help! Help me! I don't want to die!"
I'm doing everything I can. Can you tell me who did this to you?
They're monsters. They took me everything. They took my wife. Oh, Clara, my baby girl. They took it all. They're even in my head.
Yeah, that didn't sound great. What can you tell? Can you tell me anything about them? Where they are, a name, a place. How can I find your girl?
He throws up in front of you, just emptying his stomach. But as it splatters, it disappears. Ugh, help! They've got her.
Well, can I do like a life roll to help? This is agonizing.
He's able to lock eyes with you again for a moment and says, "There, Zez. It's
Zetska?
Zez, yes. Them."
No. Of course.
As
Don't.
he says the name, the scenery, the spotlight that's on him shines back out again, and you can see that you're standing in some sort of warehouse, like a shipping place. There's a couple conveyor belts with boxes and a truck at a loading station with things packing and unpacking. And even though you're standing still, you seem to be shifting over the floor as if being moved. And behind a set of boxes, you can see that there's a door that has a little incandescent light over it that has lost a lot of power, just giving the slightest little faint orangey yellow glow. And there's a sliding door, a little window to it, and you can see it peel open. Some words get muttered and the door opens up, and behind the blackness you can see that there's a stairway that descends down. You kind of fast forward through the stairs. You can see that you're moving through some corridors, and now you're in another room. And you no longer have the prisoner there. You seem to be in the room yourself, but there's a couple people, they turn and look at you and they say, "Mortimer, is that you?" And your head turns a little bit. "Yes. The new body. It feels nice to be in it." "Well, Mortimer, it's always lovely for you to get a new set of clothes to step into. How long before you'll be able to go?" And you can see on the table in front of you, there's a map, and there's a couple of pins in it. The map seems to show the United States, the entire, and you can see pins in several cities across it. And you notice that there's one pin in Pleasant Valley. And he goes, "Well, we know that one of those boys made it to the hospital before we got him. The last thing he did was made a call to a doctor in this town. That's the only lead we got. We know the name. Lorenzo. We can maybe tie this up if we can find where he went there. Maybe he's still there. But if he slipped us once, he might slip us again." "All right, Mortimer. We'll send you. But if you fail us, you're cut off. It's the last time. We've put you back together too many times." "All right. I'll do you good. I'll do you real good."
Can I make a roll to memorize that map and where those pins are? That seems real important.
Okay. Go ahead and give me... what would you...
Intelligence research?
Yeah, that seems fair enough to me. Let's do an intelligence research and make it a difficulty 7. Three. All right. So aside from the pin in Pleasant Valley, you can see that there's a whole bunch of them still in the Illinois area. Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk. Several of the suburbs outside of Chicago. But even outside of that, there's one down in... Where does Mardi Gras take place? New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Narlands. one of those down there. There's a pin in Salt Lake City. And another pin in Atlanta.
All right. So, Illinois, Chicago area, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, and Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. That seems to be targets, possibly, because one of them was in Pleasant Valley. Seems to be good things to look for. Is there anything else I can pull details-wise about the people he's talking to?
You can see that they look like almost cartoonishly 1920s gangsters, even though all of the things in the warehouse, in the shipping center seem more modern.
All right. One of them doesn't happen to have obvious signs of syphilis or something, does he?
No.
And the guy was Mortimer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Thing was Mortimer.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you can, now that you are past that memory, you can see Mortimer in the prisoner's body is wearing the same outfit that he showed up on your doorstep on, and he's riding a Greyhound bus out of Chicago. And inside of his mind, the prisoner, the man, is screaming. He just wants to go home. He wants to go to his wife, but his body is not responding. He can't lift a finger. He can't scratch a hair. And Mortimer is in full control. And the prisoner, the spotlight fades back in, and no longer on the Greyhound seat. The clothing falls off, and his mind, his body, while it's still dissolving in front of you, he pleads and cries for help. But his grasp on your cloak begins to weaken, and he falls to the ground. His weeping stops. The fire begins to rage at the corners. The fire is all around you. His body, his toes begin to glow as the flames begin to touch there. Each vertebrae on his spine begins to combust. His hair burns away. And the last thing he does before passing is look up and say, "Find them." Back in the hospital room, his body is violently shaking in front of you, Gemma, and his heart monitor goes from a rapid beep to a flat line.
I recognize that there's nothing more that I can really do for this man. And I'll give him a silent prayer for him. Oh.
With that, Nicholas, you can feel yourself being drawn back out of his dream as the dream itself seems to have collapsed.
Do I feel Mortimer's presence in his mind at all?
As you are releasing from the dream, you can see that the smoke from all the fire, as you seem to zoom out, begins to coalesce into a form. And that form is of the pointy-eared pale man, and you can see him through some misty vision. The smoke has coalesced into a little chair that he's sitting in, almost a throne from maybe like a 12th century. wood and not that majestic, but it seems to be in a dungeon somewhere. And as the smoke forms, it takes a deep breath in. And you see that pale body, that humanoid shape. Its eyes look at you, and it raises a hand and points directly at you as it fades to the darkness and your consciousness returns to your body.
Really want to give it the mental equivalent of a slap as I leave.
And upon returning back to the room, you also hear the high-pitched squeal of a heart monitor going out, flatlining.
Take a deep, steadying breath as the person dies in front of me, and I couldn't do anything to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I'll mechanically. This is really dumb, but it's what I do, especially in shock. I'm gonna mechanically go to the clipboard and start filling out the paperwork on time of death and the like, since there's nobody else here for it, and he deserves that. Not gonna sign with my name, though.
Yeah.
And it looks like Kiana needed to go for a moment.
Yeah, I saw.
But I was going to tell her about the spirit I saw, Mortimer, and since she's the whatever he is, and see if she could make sure that the man's soul is being, passed on correctly and isn't being like captured or fed upon in the afterlife by whatever the fuck that thing was. If you want to jump over to ID or
well,
Crusader.
Let's see. Anthony is. I'm sure you're just waiting on them, but is there anything that you want to do?
At this point, it's mostly just waiting, keeping an eye out for anything suspicious.
All right. Actually, your phone rings, and it's Margaret.
Hello? Oh, hey.
Anthony. Finally able to reach you again. It took a little bit, but I had to reroute some power to the nearby cell tower, but I was able to get it done. Did you all get out?
I'm waiting at the car.
Where are the others?
Upstairs.
They're all right?
No idea. There's loud, thunderous booms coming from up there. I relayed a message on to them. I know that they got it and understood it. That we had to leave.
All right. Well,
still felt a connection to them, and so I sent a little bit of luck their way.
Just a little bit ago, the intrusion that was stopping me seems to have cleared itself up. I don't understand what was happening. I'm still trying to parse out all the information, but I do know that someone that's been touched by her magic has been there. I thought it was a trap. I was trying to lead you away from it after I realized, but if they're all right, then maybe it's something else entirely. Look, just make sure that you all get out of there and don't leave a trace. I'll be cleaning up everything from the cameras that may have identified you. I'll do my best. It'll be quick work. It might be a little sloppy, but I can clean it up over time.
Well, that would be appreciated since we all basically just kind of walked in there.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm already poring over the security database and trying to clean things up here. Nothing too major, but it's we were at least fortunate enough that the power outage kind of coincided with our arrival, so we can work with that. We can use that to make some coincidences, if you know what I mean.
Understood. Well, if that cleared up things, then maybe they succeeded and they should be out shortly.
Alright, then let me know. And again, keep an eye out. I noticed that her presence was around. It may be a fluke, may just be another coincidence, but knowing mages, it's hardly ever simply as that.
I mean, her.
You know. Josephine.
But she's gone.
I'm aware, and I would love for that to be the case, but there was a bit of her presence I was noticing that was blocking me, which seems uncharacteristic. I don't believe she was any sort of correspondence mage. That didn't seem to be within her wheelhouse. But it was remarkably similar to her. But I may just be reading things wrong. The connection was rather hastily formed.
We'll keep an eye out then.
Indeed. And she hangs up.
And I will try to use Prime Sight to look around for magic.
All right. Give us your Arete at difficulty 4. All right. Yeah, out in the parking lot and in the surrounding area here, there's not a whole lot of Prime to be seen other than, the little dregs of magic that might be in the car itself from your ritual and maybe Gemma's old clothes and stuff, just the leftovers from other magical effects that have taken place in the past 24 hours. You do notice that there is some weirdness up in the sky over top of the hospital from your vantage point. And also there's been a lot of Prime fuckery somewhere in that the upper wing of the hospital. However, that darkness that seemed to have been emanating from it is gone. Which is nice.
Then. Yeah. Good. Everything's looking good then. Except the weirdness in the sky, but yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
ID. You're walking around with the security guard. You lead him to... Was it the same room that the monster was in last time, or did you just take him to a random place?
Basically setting him to a random spot. I'm just trying to get him out of the room.
Okay. You take him back down a hallway. You pass by the overturned desk next to the big scorch mark on the ground. Mm-hmm. And go. He's like, oh yeah, that's gonna be one hell of a mess. I don't know how that even happened. I see there's a puddle. You think maybe the electricity arced from a light or something? I mean, I ain't no physicist, but that just seems weird.
Yeah, Ethan just rubs his chin and says, I did a bit of a stint in IT this one time. That could gotta happen. You have a little bit of electricity, it goes bzip, zip, zop. If there's anything like explosive nearby, stuff could get set off. There's some weird thing I read about on the internet about how, sometimes if electricity hits a metal object just right, just flings things clear across the room. Totally legit.
Really? That sounds fucking crazy, dog.
I know. Must have been a lot of power. Hey, that could explain why the backup isn't working properly. Probably blew a fuse.
Shoo! Well, we're gonna have to get someone in here to take a look at that. That is dangerous. I might have to, get people out of this section of the wing if it's gonna be like that. I wonder if it had anything to do with the power outage too.
Oh no, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's like it's shutting off and there's like getting overloaded, and if lightning's involved, you'd think it'd be the latter more than the former.
That ain't right. I'm sure that ain't supposed to happen when a lightning even gets close to the hospital.
Well, what do you think would happen?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't feel like every time a lightning strikes something inside explodes, but I ain't ever really been in a lot of places where that happens, so...
Yeah, no, just ask an electrician. Again, I just read about it on the internet. It's probably true.
All right. Well, which room was it? Someone broke into one of these, you said?
I was gonna say I heard I heard a noise. I'm guessing this is it.
Oh. All right, never mind then.
Oh,
Well,
phew.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
have to
it's
go.
good.
I'm gonna have to go call a locksmith, get that lock on the security door fixed up. I know you got to make your rounds. Thanks for pointing this out, but it was hard to pass up the first time. And you have yourself a good night. Well, a good morning, whatever you grave shift people call it.
Honestly, every time it's coffee time. All
Hey,
right.
you know what?
Uh,
Make a pot big enough for two of us, because when I get done writing this up, I'm gonna have a hell of a day getting somebody down here to fix all this up.
Yeah, I'll see if I got a sec to do that. I gotta finish up my rounds now that I can actually, get around a little bit.
All right, take
right.
it easy, partner.
You too. And Ethan's going to very non-suspiciously make his way back to the exact room he was just in before.
Okay.
Think, okay, what's going on over there?
Well, you head back to the high security area where you'll now see Nicholas is awake, the prisoner is presumably dead, and Gemma is praying.
Okay, what I miss?
Well, they have passed on. So there's that. I hope, Nicholas, you were able to get what you needed.
I've got some things. Gemma, can you check this man's spirit? Soul? He had some sort of evil parasite controlling his body, and I'd like to make sure it's gone.
Oh, sure. I'll go ahead and retrieve the book and open it up. Peer through into the spirit world.
All right, give me an. Are you going to be sharing this with anyone?
You know what? I'll share this with Nicholas.
All right.
Sharing is caring, after all.
Then give me your Arete at difficulty 5.
Okay.
2 successes. All right. You both are able to see into the spirit realm through the book as the pages go from their opaque vanilla color to the transparency. You can see inside of this hospital room there is what looks to be a lot of torturous implements. The place seems to be a hub of negativity, and the people here feel trapped. And the prisoner's spirit is already lingering in the air. You can see sort of his body shape just ephemeral and glowing a sort of greenish color hovering around it. And you can see a chain around his neck extending out the window and off into the sky somewhere.
Feel like you should break that chain.
Yeah, you know what? Let's see. Oh, what can I do to break a chain? Now, question. You know how, I'm able to affect the life weave of something with, forces? If I have 3 dots in it?
Mm-hmm.
Could I do the same thing if I have 3 dots in spirit? Basically,
with
infuse something to their spirit?
Yeah, with 3 dots in spirit, you... Let's see. It takes 5 dots to forge ephemera. It takes 4 to rend the gauntlet, seal a breach, or bind a spirit. I feel like if it takes 4 to bind a spirit, it probably would take 4 to break a spirit, but maybe...
Like a binding.
There could be a clever way that you could work around breaking this chain that I can think of. But I'm going to say straight out, just trying to break the chain with your spirit magic is not going to be possible until 4.
Not necessarily break it. I want to infuse something into it.
Okay. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking there's nothing better to purify than fire. I would like to use Force 3 fire to infuse the spirit chain with fire and see if that persuades whatever is connected to sever their connection.
Okay, I'm interested. In that case, then, we're going to need a combination of spirit and forces together at difficulty 6 for this.
I
Eric-
see. Am I still getting luck stuff?
You have used your luck muffin already. Or the luck muffin and the fate bonus from Anthony.
I see. In that case, I'll go ahead and use a willpower for this.
Okay.
Just to be super certain.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 6.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be 2 then.
2 successes. So, explain to me the ritual that you did here while holding up your book.
Basically, as I hold up the book, I'm going to say a prayer of safe passage for this weary soul, as well as to signify the burning of what has troubled him on this earthly plane.
Well, I can tell her all about what's been troubling him on this earth
please
plane.
do. Please do. Tell me what's happened to this man, and I will recant it and ask to have it burnt away so that he can be judged fairly.
I'll go through basically that scene we just had about how his child and wife were kidnapped. He was beaten and tortured and mentally abused and controlled by a being called Mortimer and his shadowy cabal of 1920s vampire gangsters.
I'll finish everything by saying to please burn away the chain that is Mortimer from the soul.
Please set Mortimer on fire.
Oh,
I will definitely add in a heartfelt please to whatever magical god is helping to set Mortimer on fire. I won't even be sarcastic about it.
You can see the collar around the prisoner's neck begins to glow with a sort of red hotness, and it begins to singe his skin. And despite him being a ghostly visage to you, you can see that it's put him in quite a bit of pain. He's struggling against it, and he goes to grab it, and it's so hot on his fingers that he pulls his fingers away, and he's struggling against it. But the link connecting to the collar also grows that red hot, and then the next one, and the next one. And then as it continues down the chain, it goes a little bit faster. You can see the glow heading out of the window and heading off into the sky. And the whole time he's wailing in agony as the chain heats up. You can see it's leaving marks on his neck. His ectoplasm formed neck is beginning to bubble and boil until the chain itself begins to loosen up. The collar begins to open a little, and you can see that it's beginning to fall, and the chain goes loose. It was taut as it was going out the window, but now it seems to have fallen, and in the windowsill it's just dangling outside until one of the links breaks free, and all that's left on him is the collar, and the heat begins to fade away and subside.
worked. You wanna
No. Hopefully you may find rest. Unsevered.
He hovers over his own body. He seems to not notice it, but he is looking at you. And he sort of floats down in front of you. And you can see into his eyes. They're a bright blue color. The rest of him has this sort of greenish tint to it, but his eyes are perfectly clear. And he looks at you and says, "Thank you."
Can I hear that as well?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was still getting that. I will find Clara. If I can, I will do everything in my power to save her and punish those that have done this to you.
Thank you. He just looks down at himself. He raises his hands up and looks over at his own body, and then looks back and says, "It's time, isn't it?"
Yes,
It is.
I think it is.
Finally, I can think again. My own thoughts. And this is how it ends. I just wanted more time. I wanted a chance. He looks back up to you, crying. Let me help you. The only way I can. They don't know. They're trying. I'm not sure what you did or why they're after you, but they don't know a lot. The whole time Mortimer was in my head, he just wanted to learn more about whoever was helping. There was some family, like Geo something, they were in a fight with. They just wanted to clean them up. They're worried they'll come back someday, and they're paranoid about it. But they don't know a lot. You have time to prepare. But he's not dead. Mortimer's still out there. And he now knows that there's somebody protecting. So they might save up. But I also know that he was in sort of trouble with the Zetskas. I think you made him fail. So I may be out of time, but you have time. You have time. You have time. You. And spirit fades away in front of you.
I suppose we should start making good use of our time.
Yes. Let's go. I'm gonna turn around and walk out.
All right. You all are able to leave the high security section of the hospital, and you make it back to the stairs. You find yourself back on the first floor, and there's a bunch of nurses now. The hallways seem to be more cluttered with people, at least down here on the first floor. As the shift change is in full swing, you see people heading out of the break room and going over to computers to clock out for the day, and notes are being passed and people talking about stuff. Stories about how crazy the storm was last night, and people mentioning how they think lightning struck the hospital because it was so loud. And in the madness, you all are able to pass out without anybody asking any questions to you.
I'm gonna head straight to the car.
Mm-hmm. There you'll find Anthony waiting.
Well, that took longer than I thought it would, but I'm happy to see that all of you made it out.
Where were you?
Casting magic down here.
Let's go. There's a lot that needs to be done, and we shouldn't stay around here.
All right, then you guys get back into the car and you head back to Pleasant Valley.
Well, now I can't think of her name. I'll call her. Let her know mission was a success.
Margaret.
Yes.
All right, you
Miss
give her.
LaFay.
You give her a ring as you all head down the highway to get back to Pleasant Valley, and when you do, the lights to the town kick on. The street lights begin to glow once again with their bright fluorescent lighting. Billboards light up. All of the, not skyscrapers. Springfield might be a bit bigger than Pleasant Valley, but I don't think that quite describes it. But yes, the lights begin to come on through the town, and you head out on the road, and Margaret answers, "Yes? Everything all right?"
We're all in the car, heading back.
Great. And how was our target?
Deceased now.
Damn. Well, maybe there's some other threads we can pull to figure out what's going on.
We got some information from him.
Wait, you were able to speak with him? He wasn't dead when you got there?
He
Yes, and technically speaking,
You didn't kill him, did you?
no,
no.
the
Okay.
connection he had, I think, did it.
Ah, they had a failsafe on him, didn't they?
Seems
Well,
like it.
They might be trickier than I thought. Oh, I'm sure that you'll have plenty to tell me when you get back. For now, let's not leave this open to a channel. I've already had some interference problems before, so let's leave it at that for now. Click.
Heading back.
Any conversation on the ride home?
So,
I mean,
what
I'll-
happened in there?
Well, we ran into an entity of pale flesh and many slapping limbs. We tried to smite it with lightning. That didn't work. Then Ethan was able to suck it away into the death field, where it disintegrated in flower petals. Met a trenchcoat person in a gas mask. They said them things to Nicholas before also disappearing in the same fashion. And then, well, Nicholas, would you like to take up from the stuff we learned?
The man in a trench coat called himself the Omen. Don't know much about him or it, but our friend there that we came to see was being parasitically controlled by some thing called Mortimer. Some sort of I hesitate to say a vampire, but I did see it bite his neck and suck his blood, so probably fits at this point. kind of lived inside of his head and controlled him. They had kidnapped the man and kidnapped the man and his family, and used the hostages to basically invade his mind and send him out on a mission to find, well, somebody they thought was going to be in Pleasant Valley. The Zetskas are seemingly part of this whole thing. I look over briefly.
Oh, that's just crazy. Like, there's not really people in Pleasant Valley.
I did see a map with several other points of interest put in it besides Pleasant Valley, so we may have a lead there, but I'm pretty sure Mortimer is going to come after us again. He was given an ultimatum, and if he fails, his higher-ups are going to kill him even if we don't. And I do intend to make sure he dies. But I'd say we are in quite a lot of trouble.
It sounds that way.
Will you tell them about the wife?
I said they kidnapped his wife
You tell them
and child.
her name?
Yeah. It was, pull that back up, Clara, which I didn't get if that was the child or the wife, though. Just said Clara and his little girl. We should try to find her if we can. She's still alive.
Did you get a last name?
I mean, we had it on. We didn't have anything for the last name,
I mean, wouldn't it-
unfortunately.
Oh, right. He's referred to John Doe.
Yeah,
Didn't
he was
list
a
his last
doe,
name.
and he couldn't get him to tell me anything more. I tried to ask what their name was, but all I got was Clara and the Zetskas and Mortimer.
It's going to be a hard one to piece together.
There was another group he talked about before he passed, the Giovannis, and how they were apparently very afraid of the Giovannis coming back. So maybe Clara has something to do with them, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, at least there's leads to follow there. Although most, if not all, of the Giovanni were wiped out of Chicago.
Maybe, maybe not. There seem to have a lot of points of interest still in Chicago, as well as one in New Orleans, one in Salt Lake,
So
and one in
These-
Atlanta.
these Giovannis, though, they're like another group like them?
I don't know if they're
They're-
like them, opposed to them, but they
They're a
seem.
crime. They're just a crime family. Run a lot of different things in Chicago.
They might not have been just a crime family, given everything that's happened. Could be something deeper to that.
Do you think if we contacted them, they might help?
It's not wise to make a deal with them.
I see then.
You got any input, Ethan?
Not much
Ideas?
bad, unfortunately.
Thoughts?
Sorry.
Well, the rest of the ride to Pleasant Valley goes by faster than slower than the ride to Springfield. Almost like the same experience you have on going to vacation, where the anticipation of going there makes the ride so much longer, but on the way back it seems so much shorter. And you pass by the familiar McDonald's on the way into town. There's a almost quaintness about how quiet Pleasant Valley is. You're going back to your house, or are you going to go to the bank or something first?
I think we need to go to the bank.
I suppose it would be smart to do so.
All
We
right.
gotta get this all sorted out with Margaret. Although I don't know.
I think that would be best.
All right. Then you all head over to the bank, and why don't you all give me a perception awareness check again? At
Bank
difficulty
is on
6.
fire. Only one this time.
Which check is this again?
Perception awareness.
Perception awareness. All right, Ethan and Anthony, you distinctly notice that as you step within, a few feet of the front door to the bank, that there's some sort of feeling of a presence around you. Nicholas and Kiana, Nicholas and Gemma, that is. It's less noticeable exactly when it happens, but once you all enter inside the bank building, you feel that same sort of presence over you. And you enter in, and the receptionist goes, "Oh, you all again. Is this another meeting with Margaret?"
Yes, I believe she's expecting us.
All right, and she hits a little button on her phone and says, "Margaret, we have the 4 from a couple of days ago. They're back here. They say I have another meeting with you." And she says, yes, send them on through. Oh, right back that way. I think you know which room by now.
I'll
Yes,
head over
thank
that
you.
way.
Mm-hmm. And you all head into the meeting room, and that feeling grows a little bit stronger, but she's sitting in her spot working on her laptop, and you can see in the corner there is coffee dripping down out of the machine, freshly being brewed. And she looks up and says, "Make sure to close the door."
We'll make sure to do so.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the 40 or so minutes it took you to drive back, I think I have completely detail wiped everything. Security footage should be cleaned up. I just basically eliminated it. We'll say the power outage corrupted some of the data. I'm sure that's fine for somebody out there. There were some issues. I noticed that you brought a lightning bolt onto the 4th floor of the hospital interior.
I'm gonna look over at them. What?
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
you're the one who didn't want to participate. You in the car.
Well, okay, I know it sounds extreme, but
You were the one with the weapon. I didn't get to have one.
Look, I was watching the camera. I see you all come up the stairs through the security, which, again, I wiped all of that. Took the time, followed you up there. I see you go to the 4th floor. You're standing in a circle next to a nurse's station. Then the next thing I know, you're drawing a circle in the air. You're calling down lightning into the room and just blow up the floor in front of you.
wait,
Oh fuck!
And then
Fuck
you made another portal and just dropped a desk in front of you. The subtlety of a stealth mission lost on you. Did I not make it clear?
wait. Did you see the fog? The creature?
Oh fuck me! Were we hallucinating the whole fucking time? What the fuck?
I don't
Okay.
think it was just a hallucination, though the
No,
thing was
no,
causing hallucinations.
I
it
mean,
was probably a
but
hallucination. Fuck
were-
me, didn't even touch us. What the fuck was I thinking?
but Nicholas protected us mentally.
Yeah, no, that doesn't have to be a creature thing. It could be some asshole with a bad case of I want to fuck with people right outside the window.
There was definitely something that was there.
All right. Well, that makes that a little more understandable now. To my perception, it just looked like you decided to make lightning appear inside of a hospital and then drop a desk for no reason. However, okay, it sounds like you were dealing with something. Does that mean that there was someone else there? I had noticed when Anthony had placed the drive into the hospital network that there was some magical presence there that I was picking up on, and it was causing interference. And it had that... There was?
There was something. I'm not sure it was a someone.
Wow.
And the omen?
The omen?
That's what it called itself.
Hmm.
At least that's what it said to Nicholas. Well, said and minded.
As I expressed in my concerns to Anthony, I did believe that one of those presences, if you're describing more than one being there, at least one of them seemed to have a very similar, what would I call it? An air, an aura to that of Josephine, which worried me.
Well, I've never been around Josephine, so I couldn't say.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that whatever this omen was, they were there to help.
It
Were they?
seemed that way. I mean,
They
they could have attacked us.
helped us get some information that we might not otherwise have gotten to in time.
What?
And how did they do this?
Through mental communication of what was going on with our patient. Allowed me to delve into the patient's mind while they were dreaming and get some information of what happened to them.
And what did we
who
learn?
Did it? Well, he was being controlled by some sort of mental parasite or creature that was not good with spirituality, but it seems to have had something with that. Seemed to be some sort of vampiric entity controlling his body and his mind.
Vampires?
Well, it bit his neck and drank its blood, so that's about as close as I can get.
No, that adds up.
Whatever it was, it shackled itself to his, well, not even just his mind, his soul. They were connected.
Well,
Its name was Mortimer, apparently, and it's not dead yet.
fantastic. Anything else?
Oh, you should expect a whole group of such creatures to probably show up at some time.
Sometime?
I didn't get an exact date or time, but Mortimer is interested in this place, and so are the people that are in control of him, as well as a few other areas.
Not to mention if Mortimer fails.
Yes, he's under kind of a death threat for failure.
Ah. Well, that might be a pressure point that we can push in on somehow. Well, I would say the good news is, at least with that information, I know we're not dealing with the technocracy. That was my primary concern. I'm glad that at least clears that up. However, a bunch of mental... Yes. Was my primary concern was dealing with them, but if it's not our antagonist in this case, I'm a little relieved to say. But having to deal with the other, what's the most eclectic way of putting this? Magical beings. Knowing that there's other magical beings involved with this does bring some complexity into the situation. I may need to go refer to some other experts. Not had to deal with vampires directly, but I know they're not to be trifled with, especially ones with such power as to control someone over long distance. Presumably. Is there any way that you could have known that perhaps Mortimer was nearby?
Well, the chain that connected our John Doe, it ran from his neck up into the clouds.
I did, with magic sight, see something going on that was odd up in the sky, but I wasn't able to see exactly what.
Well,
Can vampires fly?
some may. They're not exactly something I've researched a whole lot, so you'll have to forgive me for having a blank spot there, but I have a wide database of contacts and information that I can scour through. Learning something new isn't too difficult for me. It always just comes down to an opportunity cost, and the opportunity to learn has never been that valuable until now. So I'll have to begin my research immediately. But the only question I would have had then is, if we could have followed that chain, we might have been able to find this Mortimer, but perhaps that is a good thing that you didn't do that. Having one of you chained yourself may have added additional complexities.
Yes, it surely would have. At least now we know of a pretty good way of dealing with something like that. I admit I'm not able to break the chain, but I can encourage them to let go.
Oh, you were able to do something?
I was. We were able to unshackle John Doe from Mortimer.
Ah. So, the link might be more than one way. He was controlling him. No. The pieces are coming together. Nicholas, when you casted that sleep spell, what you may have done is put Mortimer to sleep as well. If this is the connection that they're making, it may be two-way. If you can inflict pain upon the prisoner and Mortimer feels it, then if he's able to do this in the future, we might have our avenue of attack on Mortimer. Of course, that may mean that we would have to inflict undue pain on one of his victims, but in the grand scheme of things, that might be a net positive. Let's just hope it's not one of you.
Contrary, I would much rather it be me than some innocent person again.
Oh, how noble, Nicholas, but we can't have you under the control of some parasitic vampire. Then I really would have to jettison you over to Jupiter.
Yikes.
That would just be your immediate response, is jettison to Jupiter?
Well, I mean, in the case where he's been compromised, it seems like the safest outcome.
So that's how that would have happened.
Excuse me?
Wait, what?
I didn't know how it would have happened. I thought maybe Ethan would have screwed up some magic in it. That's one of the threads of fate that I saw that I just cut away because it was just preposterous. Was Nicholas floating in space next to Jupiter?
Oh, well, it seems as if you've avoided being taken as a mental slave today, Nicholas. Congratulations.
Make a mental note to learn how to breathe in space.
I wonder then, would it be too much of a reach? I've dealt with a fair bit of fate magic in my time, and I know that sometimes those misty visions can be less than accurate. But knowing that you had seen a fate where that had come out, I wonder if there was a possibility for Mortimer to have controlled Nicholas at some point in this little excursion. Maybe it's something that we shouldn't think about too much.
Could have been if I had the chance to go against him. I was definitely in the mood to crush everything about him that I could. But the connection was cut off before I could do anything.
Well, I would say despite all the drama and the loss of life, it did seem quite successful. I have to say, I am proud of your work. Despite the cleanup I had to do, for a bunch of green mages, I would say that you did well.
That seemed kind of painful for you to say.
She pours herself a glass of whiskey and drinks it.
Yeah, that's correct.
There's one more thing I wanted to ask.
Yes?
Since you were concerned that the other party could have been Josephine, I wanted to ask, since you've had a lot of experience dealing with her magic, what would be telltale signs of her involvement? Like any, specific tricks she likes to pull, or the flavor of it.
And for what
You know?
reason would I tell you that? Aren't you the one that's supposed to be most familiar with her? You've been in contact with her more recently than even I.
I've never seen Josephine cast. In fact,
Is
Well.
that true?
I believe so. I don't think I've ever seen her do it.
Is it that you haven't seen or you just weren't aware at the time?
I admit I'm not really sure myself.
Well, she always had a thing for flowers. She seemed attracted to lavender, and it seemed as if everything that had her touch ended up with those purple flowers everywhere. And I would be a liar if I did not say I held a bit of contempt every time I see those things.
Flowers. I see.
Yes. Always a connection to floral things with her. She always ties it into things.
I see. I'll keep an eye out for flowers then.
As all of you should. I know that you have a strong sense of connection to her, but she's trouble. And if she comes back around, I cannot imagine anything good would come of it. This Omen, the one that helped you, was he the connection?
Connection to...
The presence that I was detecting, I'm assuming.
He was likely the presence you were detecting, yes?
Oh,
I'd-
wait.
I'd
You also
imagine
said
that
there was
they-
the hobo.
Excuse me?
Oh, yes, I almost forgot.
Oh yeah, there was
Some
the hobo.
crazy hobo came up and told us that you had said that you were singing the Champions.
Excuse you?
I
I spoke-
couldn't
What did
he
have
say
your hobo
exactly?
Then.
You didn't say
Nobody.
that you did.
She
That's the thing.
She
summoned
had
forth the
told me
champions.
when he was going to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Whether
doesn't
she
have to
knew we
be-
were going.
First of
But-
all, I would not be lectured by you all on the subtlety, the act of stealth. I, of course, did not tell anyone what had been planned. From the moment that I was in your home until this moment, I did not let any soul understand what was going on. I did my best to cover your tracks out of Pleasant Valley. Any possible coverage that would have happened from security cameras or anything on the street, even seeing your car leave the house. I painstakingly stitched together reality to make sure that nobody knew that you all left and came back. The only possibility is the presence of your person in the minds of the people that are there. They should find it incredibly difficult to have any sort of material possession that could lead back to you. You think I would do all of that and then just gab to some nonsense-speaking hobo?
No, I didn't think that from the beginning.
I suppose not.
But
Have
it makes a
any
lot more
idea
sense
what
that
others she would have known were being sent there?
yes. The exact same presence that Margaret is asking about.
Perhaps it was him and not this omen. Or maybe it's just the ramblings of a lunatic.
Maybe.
You can't always
Very-
discount that option in the world of mages. There are some rabbit holes you'll go down and realize it's just a hole full of rabbits. A
To
spade's
say,
a spade and all that. What's that, Ethan?
Never mind, it's okay.
But that does mean, if it is true, that someone may be on to us. And I'm hoping not she refers to her. That would be unfortunate. What again did they
she
say?
Must not be named.
They
Something
said you'd be
about the
coming before
champions.
champions.
The champions?
Yes.
Like the Queen song?
Yes.
It's Queen.
The champions are coming. All right. She jovially... jovially? Is that a word?
Jovial?
Yeah, jovially.
Jovially types that onto her keyboard. Oh, I'll place that on there. I do suggest, Ethan, that you take those scrubs and go burn them somewhere.
That's probably a good idea.
Yes. You hear me? Boy?
Oh, did we lose him? Ethan, are you muted? I think we might have lost him.
Okay, well. Well, hold on a minute then. Well-
So it'll be right back.
In that case, then, I have my research I need to do. In the meantime, I would suggest you all retire for the evening. I know that I woke you up with this mission, and you probably are quite exhausted. I can almost smell the paradox burning off of you right now, so why don't you go take it easy? Then again, Miss Linguini, I believe today is Sunday morning, and it's only a couple hours until service, and you do not look prepared.
Hey, you raise a good point.
Oh, and Father Andrews has been quite talkative these past few days. And I
what
know
exactly?
he feels as if something is wrong. He doesn't want to mention you by name, but I can read it on his face. He's concerned about you. You wouldn't hurt Father Andrews, would you? He's such an upstanding man in this community.
Oh, yes, he is.
Then make sure you upkeep your appearances, Gemma. It's something I've had to learn over the past several decades. You want to gallivant across the countryside and fix all the problems in the world, but people will start to worry about you. They have feelings for you. So you always have to put on that mask. Let them know you're okay. Otherwise, they'll start to dig and pry into your appointments, and that will just cause problems.
I understand what you're saying.
Anything else?
I don't believe so, no.
All right, then. In that case, I have some work to do, some additional work now, I have a couple more loose ends to tie up with this whole excursion. And now I've got some research to look into. Of course, I'll fill you in if any important information comes our way. Otherwise, I might need you to look into a couple things around town for me while I'm busy on that. But until then, try to rest easy. And then she waves you off. Skedaddle.
Away with you. Get out of here.
She takes
Shoo,
another
shoo.
sip of her drink. So what are you guys doing?
I think we should go and get some rest, those of us that can.
I don't think I can I?
That's up to you, Gemma. What are your feelings?
I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't deserve to be there, but I need to uphold a certain promise.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gemma will very, very anxiously go to the church.
Are you gonna have Nicholas drop you off?
If he doesn't mind. If it's out of his way, though, Gemma
I
will
can
just...
I can drop you off.
Okay.
I'm sure it's okay.
Aren't you
Unless you
compelled
really
to?
don't want to.
Aren't you compelled to stay for the service though? Don't you want to hang
No.
out? No.
Not at all.
Oh.
Not even slightly.
What about you, Anthony? Are you more tired or more filled with desire to make lunch for people on short notice? Well, in that case then, Gemma, you are dropped off outside, and despite a few of the parishioners waving at Nicholas and inviting him in, I think he remains unconvinced.
Yep. Being unconvinced and also not in any sort of mood for social interaction at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I have to ask, Emma, are you going to leave your nun clothes in the car, or are you going to try to bring them in?
I will most certainly leave them in the car.
Your Hot Topic outfit will remain hidden from them for now.
Yes. Yes, it will.
Well, the usual crowd of old folks and families greet you as you walk in the doors, and you can see that Father Andrews is in a circle with people next to the organ player, and he catches you out of the corner of his eye, and he gives you a little nod and goes back to talking to them.
I nod back to him.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a perception awareness check? Or alertness, whichever one you want. Awareness or alertness.
It's the same either way, so let's just go with this.
All right.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6.
Whew, I'm really aware.
All right. You are very aware that as you walk by the little altar that's full of holy water, the water moves away from you.
Yikes.
It's a bowl, and the water inside, it almost looks like somebody has tilted the thing over as the water just sort of pushes to the side away from you. And that same sort of ominous feeling that the pictures of the saints and Jesus up on the cross are not looking down on you with benevolence.
Yep. Understood.
But not before long, people take their seats, and Father Andrews goes up to his podium, and he begins a lovely sermon. And as you listen, he talks about things going into in the game world. We're heading into October and how it's fall time and it's time to harvest what all the toil over the summer months has brought, and how God has a plan. And sometimes it's hard to see when you're toiling in the fields the fruit of your labor, but it is now that time when we begin to reap and harvest and we see the fruits. And as it is with agriculture, so it is with God, where while you're toiling and working in the fields, one day you will reap the fruits that God has bared for you, and that you just need to have faith and believe and trust in Him, and these things will come for you. And everyone says their amens after singing a few hymns here and there. And sadly, there's not a meal that is prepared by a should-be world-renowned chef at this point. But instead, there is a token gesture of some cheese and cracker platters in the back for people to snack on after the service as they talk. And Father Andrews passes by people as they get up, and he walks directly over to you, Gemma. And he says,
Oh, God.
Gemma, how are you?
I am doing well, Father.
I noticed you haven't been staying in the dorms. Are you doing all right?
I'm doing well.
I'm glad to hear it. And he reaches out his arms and he pulls you in for a good hug. And he nuzzles his chin over your head and just holds you close and says, I'm glad you're all right.
Aw.
And that's where we're going to end for today.
Oh,
Have those good feels.
what good feels.
How are you all doing? Is everyone okay?
I'm okay.
Okay. Much better place to end versus the absolutely horrifying, terrifying situation of last game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicholas is not in a great place, but I'm fine.
Yeah, there were some emotional points today, so I just want to make sure that all of you are all right. I know it's role playing and that you might be able to separate them out, but we did have some graphic images inside of our heads on that one. So, with that, why don't we divvy out some experience points? Everyone loves that.
Yeah.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to say that we you're of course going to get your one automatic point at least.
Mm-hmm.
Learning curve. Characters who truly learn something new, important, or significant to the plot or their personal stories can earn a point. I think you guys definitely earned that. We got some names were
Yes.
named, some pasts
Quite a lot of
uncovered.
plot there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely some good plot.
Role playing. I think you all played really well in your characters this time. You all stepped up and did what I thought your characters would do in those situations. So why don't you give yourselves a point for that? I mean, I'm going to disregard where it says going above and beyond the group's usual level of role playing, because I don't know how you guys would go further beyond it other than like, here, let me turn my webcam on. I'm cosplaying as my player or my character.
I mean,
And even that only works once.
yeah, and then that's once.
I
And then
know.
after that, you got to go further beyond that.
So then it's like, what, I'm going to be acting out, all of our parts?
Yeah, you need to essentially become a mage, and then the game falls away. Focus. Belief and practice are so important to a mage. A player who really gets into the way her character performs magic plays up their beliefs and practices. I mean, again, all of you, when you were doing your things, you gave me good rituals. Ethan was drawing circles to make his portals and bringing things in. We had Anthony out in the car chopping away at fate with his cleaver. The rosary and holy water were used multiple times, as well as some ear medicine, Tylenol, and the notepad. So why don't you guys get yourselves a point for that?
Okay.
Heroism. You all did stay to fight the monster when you could have clearly left, which I think was heroic. So go ahead and give yourselves points for that as well.
I will not take that point because
Go
I
ahead.
did not stay and fight.
That's fine.
Bravely ran away.
If you want to sacrifice your point, that's okay.
It doesn't make sense. I'm like, nope, there's danger up there. Bye.
You did help out with the luck at the end, though, so we still appreciate
Well,
your
I mean,
long
I was still
distance.
yeah. I mean, I was still going to help you. I wasn't going to run into the danger, though.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Our
worst
long
case
distance
scenario-
luck sniper.
Worst case scenario, you all get taken out. It'd be really nice to have someone who can get away to get help.
Designated survivor.
Yes.
And I'll say you all should get a point for wrapping up this part of the story. The hotel invasion. We're going to say that was the end of that like chapter. The introduction of the prisoner, the drama that went down with them, then chasing him down to the hospital, being introduced to some new characters along the way. I think that counts as wrapping up that portion of this story, that arc. So you all should have a healthy amount of experience from this occasion. Do you all have any thoughts or feelings you want to share with the viewers on the story so far before we wrap things up?
Well, I had a very fun time. Lots of pieces that I want to know what the heck's going on with that. But that's good for a mystery.
Truth's coming into focus. At least some of the parts. We've got the Zetskas coming in, parasite, vampires, mind controlling people.
Yeah, my past seems to really be catching up to me extremely fast. A lot faster than I thought it would here.
Yeah, quite a bit fast.
So yeah, I'll learn how to fight vampires. Because I do know that a meat cleaver itself is just not enough.
Yeah, probably not. Otherwise, they might be easy to deal with if every kitchen was the antithesis of a vampire.
I mean, isn't it if you have well-stocked garlic?
Yeah, but that's only in places with garlic. Like everywhere else, what do you got? Ginger, maybe? Pfft.
So all of our food from now on that I cook is going to be highly infused with garlic.
Yeah, garlic muffins in the future. No. The first time it was luck muffins. Now we've got luck garlic toast. Take a bite out of that. Well, do you guys have anything coming up that you want to tell the people about, since this video should go up tomorrow? Karadur, what cool things are you going to be doing this week?
Probably filling out more paperwork for a job and maybe going down to Chicago for a week of training.
Wait, Chicago?
Yep.
Ooh. I gotta warn you.
Wish me luck.
there could be vampire mobsters there, or just regular mobsters there. So, just keep an eye out for that.
Other than that...
Hey, demons, it's me, ya boy, Mortimer.
Probably going to be playing some Wild Hearts.
Oh, Wild Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at that. How do it?
It's pretty fun. I'd say it's Monster Hunter light at the moment. A little bit more story, a little light on the mechanics, but I think it's a good first place, honestly, for their first try. I put it above
Dauntless.
Dauntless.
Yeah,
above Dauntless, below Monster Hunter.
Yeah, when you said Monster Hunter Light, my first thought was, oh, so it's like Dauntless.
I like it way better than Dauntless.
Okay.
So.
All right, how about you,
That's
Crusader?
what I'm doing.
What are you up to, Crusader?
Oh, I don't have too much going on. I have Thursday, I'm doing a collab playing some Apex.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played it before?
I've done some Apex with some people that are also here.
Yep.
I am very casually play Apex.
Mm.
My strategy for winning is just hide
Let it sort itself out.
and just get in the last shot.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? I know you finished up Fable 2, right?
I didn't finish Fable 2. I got really bored with Fable 2.
Huh.
Fable 1 is so good. And then I went to Fable 2, and I remember at the time playing it, I did enjoy it. But going back to it now, I'm like, the mechanic, after playing the first one, going right into 2, the mechanics felt actually a little clunky. The story is definitely not as good.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered hearing that Fable 2 is not as good as Fable 1. Neither Fable 3 either.
In Fable 3, I just remember playing it, and the only thought I had is, okay, just get through this. Okay, do this part here. Spend time to get this achievement, because I am never playing this game again, so do it now or it's never happening.
Oof.
Hmm.
So, with having that experience, I'm like, nope, getting away from Fable, doing something else. So I started playing Fallout 4. 'Cause
Oh,
I've never played that.
Nice.
yeah,
Ah.
Fallout
Nice.
4 is fun. How about you, Kiana? What are you up to this week?
Oh, well, I don't really do many live streams anymore. I have a Pokemon Showdown video that's going to be uploading this week, as well as another one, which is specifically going over a tournament that I participated in. But I guess the other thing is I was debating on getting a certain game called Hunt Showdown.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
I have a lot of fun
Um,
with it most of the time.
My big thing is I just want friends to play with, because I don't like the idea of like playing with randos.
Absolutely.
Not in a game like that. No.
I also do not enjoy playing solo. I've done it like 3 times now, and I spent the whole time just going, nope, 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 I hate this, nope.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I know you've been doing lots of Core Keeper.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Core Keeper as a community community night thing. Not really recorded or anything, just having fun with fans and stuff.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's been very fun.
Yeah, it has been.
And how about you, ID? What are you up to this week?
Well, as far as I can tell, this week should be a relatively normal one for me. Wednesday, I should have my usual evening stream. Still figuring out if that's going to be more Persona 5 or if I want to take a swerve and try something else. And Sunday, this next week, I should have another stream live at noon EST, as per usual.
Nice. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what you come up with then if you do the curveball.
Mhm.
As for me, tomorrow is the Mistress and the Mustache Mondays with Thrav, where we'll be playing Hunt. And then at midnight, tomorrow, it is, if you guys know Goddess Lunatic, she is doing her 1-year anniversary tomorrow. And she's going to be running events all day. And if the subathon runs until midnight, I'm going to be playing Fall Guys with them at midnight. So hopefully the subathon will still be going on by then, and I'll be doing some Fall Guys with her. Otherwise, the rest of my Tuesday and Wednesday should be off, and I'll be doing video editing and stuff. And on Thursday, we'll come back with some more Blender work before hopefully getting too frustrated with it and throwing it out a window. But with that, I think it's time that we head on over to the Wall of Memories. What do you guys think we should put on there?
I think some flowers.
You think
Rose
flowers?
petals.
Rose petals?
Or, a guy in a gas mask.
Guy in a
Trench
gas
coat.
mask could work.
Guy in a gas mask?
Maybe someone.
The everything is on fire meme.
Yeah, the everything on fire meme would work too.
Here, I could do this. I could take a gas mask, PNG, and then I could put rose petals over top of it.
And then set everything on fire.
And then set everything on fire.
Yes.
That seems to be the way to do it. If it would load up, please. Today. Right now. Thank you. Alright, gas mask. And then rose petals PNG. There we go. Look at that. And it's actually transparent. Wonderful. You'll love to see it.
We do. We do.
Good.
There we go. Because I fucking hate it when something's got that checkerboard background and then you copy it and it just copies the checkerboard background. You lied!
Same. There are so many images that I wanted to use for like thumbnails or for editing where like I download it and then I see it has that dumb, stupid checkerboard background. It makes me want to.
Alright, and then a fire PNG. Yeah, see, you're a liar. You liar. There we go. And you're not.
Liar, liar.
Plants for hire. There we go. Burning rose petal gas mask. If that doesn't remind us of what today's adventure was all about, then I don't know what will. Export to the wall of memories. We'll say mage gas mask. Gas mask omen. Done. Alright, let's head on over there. And hopefully we'll be back again 2 weeks from now for the next installment in Mage. Mages of Pleasant Valley. Granted, life does not get in the way of everyone here. Oh, I should probably make this image smaller. Probably don't need a 5,000 by 5,000 pixel image on the wall.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Need, maybe no, but I mean, we could.
Let's scale that down to like 300. Let's see how that looks. Okay, maybe that's too much. Scale image down to like 800. Okay, that is still visually distinct. Let's do it. Da-da-da. Add image. Gas mask omen. Okay. For all of memories. Mage. There we go. And I can just slot you in right here. Ugh, it's getting real tight. It's getting into a tight fit around here on the wall of memories. There's not a lot left.
I mean, that's what we like to hear.
Yep. A tight fit.
Exactly, yeah.
Precisely. Alright, with that then, let's see who's available to raid, and let's throw all of our love and affection over to them. Who is going to receive our love? Our wet, sticky love. A do 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 do. Oh, you know who I haven't seen in a while? Ayane. She's playing some Final Fantasy. Or Miss Wendigo is playing some Magic the Gathering. 4-player commander game. Yeah, let's go.
Oh,
Tabletops,
that sounds
the card
fun.
games.
Yeah, let's go watch. Let's watch Wendy then. There we go. Bringing that up, and we'll start that. But for all of you watching on YouTube, if you've watched all the way to the end here, you're fucking insane. I don't know why you did that, but thank you. And I hope you've enjoyed. And until next time, remember to take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.